Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spawncast episode 270. We're missing Click tonight. She'll be back next week, though. She had some stuff she had to take care of tonight. But we got everyone here. We have actually quite a bit to go over because we had the State of Play, which had a bunch of big titles to look forward to that we have to discuss. Sonic Frontiers has been shown off, and we'll go over that. And Mario Strikers actually had some hands-on this week. A couple of us played it, so we'll give our thoughts on that as well. Let me go around here. OJ, Player Essence, holding up the pre-stream for the Spawncast. How you doing over there, OJ?
Doing good. I think we hit a record for viewers for that. It was like 400 or 450 plus. So, everyone. So people, I guess we're going to have a pretty big show tonight. So people are excited about the topic. So thanks for having me on once again. And doing really well. Been playing a lot of Strikers and been watching a lot of you guys' content and videos. We're getting into the season, so it's fun.
Things getting started. I think this week coming up is going to be a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to it.
It's hot as hell where I live. There's a wildfire warning. So if my house goes up in flames, it's been nice knowing all you guys. Right.
It sounds like Nate is the one under attack here. Nate, how are we doing over there?
I'm fine.
It
will get louder and it will become more consistent over the next 10 to 15 minutes.
Jesus. Is it like approaching you? Is that what you're trying to say? Or?
No, the fireworks literally just began. So the grand finale is usually around 9:15, 9:20.
Okay.
I could see the fireworks out of my window. They're blowing up right over the trees. So
how are we doing? How are we doing, Nate?
Doing well.
Okay, good.
Yankees are on a nice winning streak. Got fireworks in the background.
Okay.
So that's a good day.
Okay. We got RGT85. Sean, how you doing, Sean?
Greetings. Doing all right.
Good. Had an interesting adventure yourself last night, so I'm sure you'll tell us about that a little bit at some point.
It's odd.
Yeah. We also have Max Dreamcast guy.
Hello. Yeah, it's the Diablo Immortal week. That's the real hype. Yeah, we finally got Diablo Immortal released.
Are people like hyped about that thing?
No. I played it. I've max leveled and it's bad. The game asks you for microtransactions constently.
Interesting.
Sounds like a mobile game, right?
Yeah, but you can play it on your computer. It's terrible on your computer, but yeah, you can. It's possible.
Let me know when Diablo 4 comes out.
Yeah, true.
10 years from now.
We'll talk. Yeah. We got MVG.
Hey, great to be back. Thanks for having me on.
Have MVG here. We got Jordan Fringe.
Going on. Glad to be here. Can't forget. There was some Pokemon this week. It was a stuffed
There
week.
was Pokemon, wasn't there? There was Pokemon. We got the release date for it.
Yeah.
Which one are you going with, Jordan?
I'll probably get the dual pack, but I think I'm pretty sold on Violet.
Good answer. Good answer. Okay, good. And we got Evan.
Yep.
Okay, so like I said, we have quite a bit to go through. We have the State of Play show that's going to take plenty of time to get through as well. But Evan, let's start with the Discord question first before we get into some of this stuff.
With all of the Resident Evil remakes, do you think we will get a remake of the original in the RE engine?
Yes.
I want to say yes, but they would have gone way out of order. Although I guess Code Veronica, they're kind of already out of order, aren't they?
True, but I saw an argument that I hadn't thought of, which is that they released back in the day. They released the original Resident Evil, and they did the Resident Evil remake 6 years later. So at this point, I do think it's kind of appropriate to go back to it at some point.
We know why they're going RE4 remake anyway, because it's going to make them a ton of money. But
yeah,
that's RE5, dude. That's what they're going to do after RE5. They're going to remake RE5.
Maybe. I still think they're going to do an online one after 4. Like I think they're going to do Outbreak again.
What about Code Veronica? When are we getting that?
I want it. They don't want it.
I want it.
It should have been before this because
Yes.
Code Veronica
Yes.
is the sequel to Resident Evil 2.
Yes. Why? Yeah. I was hoping we would get Code Veronica.
Capcom pretended don't exist though.
Let's just go into the State of Play then, because that's sort of like the big news was this week for the most part, or the different announcements here. And there, you know what? I'll give them credit. I did not expect this much out of a State of Play, although maybe that's just where our expectations are for a State of Play whenever it pops up at this point. But they did start off with RE4. So not a shocker. We all heard we've been hearing about RE4 Remake has it been 2 years now?
2 years, yeah. I looked at my first video was 2 years ago because I've been talking about the leaks since they came out.
It's been a long time we've been talking about this game. So it's good to finally have confirmation. Here it is. And it's coming out March 24th. They had a release date ready to go for it.
Also, the confidence of showing the release date before the trailer. I'm not sure I've ever seen that before. They're like, here's the game. Here, you throw us the money now.
They already know.
Yeah.
They know it's RE4. Like everyone's just like, all right, here's
Yeah.
not a problem. They could have just shown the logo, nothing else, and people still would have gone and pre-ordered it.
I thought that's what they were going to do, to be honest.
Yeah, you know it. I mean, they actually showed, the visuals for it. And
here's the thing, though. I think there's going to be some pretty drastic changes, more than maybe what we saw with RE2, because they didn't show any combat.
Well, did you see the press? Did you read they sent out press releases for this? And it definitely says they're going to follow the same path, quote unquote, but they're going to have different ways to get there. Yep. So it's going to be reimagining of RE4 is the way it sounds.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, this is all good to me. I don't want a 1-for-1 remake of that game.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
It doesn't make sense in the current Resident Evil stuff, because when you look at what 4 did, 4 completely changed it from fixed camera angles, survival horror, to a more controllable camera and really a more action oriented game with some spooky elements. And that worked for a while. That's what Capcom was doing with the franchise. But then with 7, they went back to the more horror orientated stuff. So I want it to be similar in name and setting and stuff, but I want the game to actually play different. You have a million ways to play Resident Evil 4, the vanilla version, on every console in the world. You might as well have a little bit of fun with it.
Well,
it's not going to have the tank control. It's not going to have the tank controls, though. It's definitely going to be more modernized.
Well, no,
like
like a 7. Yeah. Like the more modern remakes.
I did a video looking at a bunch of, because Capcom sent me all the 4K assets. You can definitely tell that they're going to make it seems like they want the Ganados and cult members and stuff to be more mutilated. And also, I'm kind of interested what's going to happen after release, because Shinji Mikami, the inventor of Resident Evil and the director of RE4, I think he's always said he wanted RE4 to be scarier, and he just kind of missed the mark. So I'm going to be curious after this comes out if they interview him and he's like, yes, now this is the real Resident Evil 4. Make
you see
scary.
the opening scene, right? It's not during the day, it's at night.
Yep.
So like immediately they've already changed just how you see it right in the beginning.
Maybe they have like a system to where it's like a day-night system in the game.
Oh, that'd be cool. Okay. Okay.
And I think they're going to really change it. Those chainsaw guys are going to be faster. They're going to make those guys faster. They're going to make those guys harder to kill. That's going to be tougher to get past too. You're not going to just be able to body them like you bodied them before, And so I think that's going to be different, like to make it more scary.
Sean, what do you think about the PSVR 2 support since you've experienced it in Oculus?
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. So is this potentially something that'll push you towards buying that VR headset?
I'll probably buy the VR headset because I make YouTube videos.
Yeah, but like
RE4
right away, it's like you're already sold on an Oculus. Then you're like, whoa, this one in RE Engine is.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna check it out anyways, but I do. Are we segueing into that already, or are we just mentioning that and then?
Well, I mean, I'm gonna be mentioning it. I'm gonna be mentioning it for a lot of these announcements, because immediately after that, it was like, oh yeah, Resident Evil Village. That's also gonna have PSVR 2 support.
But I did think it was weird that they didn't talk anything beyond that. As far as like you're talking about PSVR 2, which really you haven't done any sort of stuff beyond like a press release and like a suit and tie affair with it with Sony, but you didn't show it. You didn't talk about when it's coming out, a price point. I assume it's coming out this year. It seems.
Oh, it's the VR 2 is coming out next year.
Yeah.
Is it? I'll tell you that now. They didn't make an announcement for this year because it sounds like there were some supply stuff going down. So people are at least reporting that they're going to see it go into mass production towards the second half of this year, like lining up for a first half next year release.
Do you think we'll get like a VR 2 state of play? Because I looked at those patents. I never made a video on it, but the patents make the controllers seem totally different. I feel like they're going to have to have very different. They're going to have to explain it to people.
I think, and the thing that's interesting about PSVR 2, the way that the controllers are set up versus how the PS4 headset set up, I think, Nate, you might have brought this up when we talked about it initially. I think backwards compatibility will be kind of a challenge for this.
There won't be any backwards compatibility.
Yeah, I'm thinking there won't be. Like any of those PSVR 1 games, I don't know if they're all going to work for this PSVR 2 headset.
They won't.
If at all.
There won't be backwards compatibility for PSVR 1 games on PSVR 2. The tracking, the controllers, everything is too different.
Yeah. Well, the controller's almost a broken in half PlayStation 5 controller with like grips.
Yeah, it's similar to like what we see like the Index and others use, where it can track all your fingers and everything. And when you see the footage for some of the stuff, you see the floating hands, and the idea is, yeah, those are your hands, and you can grip stuff, and it's way more advanced than the PSVR headset now is like sad compared to everything else around it. It's rough times right now with that headset. But yeah, I think that's something that I don't think they mentioned yet, or at least they avoided the question. And I think that's because the answer is not great. So, but that's why we're seeing things like RE4 and Village have VR2 support immediately. Like, okay, you're gonna get it. So I'm excited for 4 to have that. 4 just existing. It's exciting stuff there. To see that. They did also do The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners Retribution. This is chapter 2. I didn't know there was a chapter 1.
That's what I said in my video. Literally word for word. I thought it looked like I thought
I missed something. You're like the horror game guy with this, Sean. Like the
right.
Some of these kind of games. Right? Friday the 13th. Okay.
But yeah, I thought it looked kind of cool. Like, I'm hoping they're not going to be like, oh, this is a $60 game. But if it's like a $40 or something game, like a lot of potential with that. I did think I'm looking at it. I'm like, is this Dying Light VR? And then I was like, no, what the hell is this? And they were like, Walking Dead 2, Saints and Sinners 2, motherfucker. And it's like, what? When was one?
They said that with a lot of confidence, like we knew what it was.
Well, apparently the first game was a big VR hit. I heard people in my chat and stuff were saying it's good. I've never seen it.
They need to stop assuming that a lot of people played some of these PSVR games. They just like pretend like this is their first headset or something and introduce the games that way. But hey, either way, that one, by the way, coming at the end of this year, 2022 is what it said. The headset's not going to be there in 2022.
So then what are they doing?
It's interesting. I assume that's also just going to be playable without it. Like you can just like with a controller, I guess, but it's very odd. With that, maybe that's lined up for a delay. Who knows? No Man's Sky PlayStation VR 2. I have not played No Man's Sky in years.
I completely left it off my video because I forgot it was a thing.
Same.
VR makes sense for it, I guess. I don't know. It's sure first-person exploration. Apparently the game has shifted dramatically. I just have not.
Completely different game now.
I have not looked into it since everything went down originally with it. So I don't know. Maybe it's worth checking out again. Maybe that's one of those VR games where I just fire up and I'm like, oh, cool VR.
Walking Dead's also coming to PSVR.
There you go.
And Quest too, as well. They said in the chat.
You go.
So there we go.
That makes
Play
sense.
it before the PSVR 2 people.
There you go. Horizon Call of the Mountain, and then they also had Forbidden West, which is getting an update, which I checked out. The update's pretty standard. I mean, the performance mode looks kind of strange still. Like it's very sharp, I guess, is the idea. So you have a lot of the jagged edges. But you can reset your skills and everything, and they have New Game Plus, which I'm just about done the game. I've decided I'm just going to go through and do all this side quests because I'm almost done a lot of them. So New Game Plus, though. So there we go. Call of the Mountain, though. Sean, I don't think this is on rails.
No, it's not. Okay. But it's not a full game either. You can obviously see what they're doing. Yep. The whole point of it is you're at the bottom of the mountain. You've got to get to the top of the mountain. What stands in your way? It's it's going to be something. I can't imagine it being more than like 5 hours, which is fine. I don't think you want to hang on to I can't play VR very long.
I think it's a launch game. Like it's probably going to come out next to it. I almost feel like they need to package something in with the headset. I wondered if this might be what they'd package it with. Call of the Mountain as like the pack-in game for it, but last time I think they did the PSVR 1, they did it was like a bunch of tech demos that were built.
Yeah, they had that experience thing. Plus, didn't they have some Astros game as well in there or something?
Yeah, Astrobot.
Astrobot, that's it.
Yeah, I would like to see an Astrobot game, but I don't know if I want it to just be VR only. But that they had the one tech demo that really, I think the one that really got me is they like lower you into the water and it's like you're in a shark cage.
Yeah, that was a fun one.
That one was weird. I was like, all right, this is strange. But a pack-in game, I think Call of the Mountain would be a good one for that if they wanted to do that. But
it'd be smart.
Yeah, because that's the hardest thing is getting people on board with VR without getting them to try VR. Like they physically have to go to someone's house, and basically someone has to take the plunge on it for it to kind of have word of mouth spread. Okay, non-VR game. Here we go. Spider-Man Remastered is going to PC.
Just in time for my Steam Deck to get here as well.
Interesting, right? It's August 12th that one's coming out. Miles Morales is also going to PC at the end of this year, and it just kind of continues Sony's push to PC. I mean, they announced this game with the release date before Uncharted is completely out on PC.
I was surprised, actually. I was waiting for Returnal to get the nod, because we heard about that, right? There was some leaks or something on Steam.
Yeah.
So I thought Returnal was the one they were gonna call, but Spider-Man's actually a pretty big deal on PC.
By the way, Nix's is helping with this one. Sony just acquired them, so they must have acquired them, and then like the following week they're like, all right, you're going to go ahead and take care of Spider-Man with
here's your assignment
immediately. This is a pretty big one, I think, for Sony to do, because it does show their commitment at this point to like PC.
Well, yeah,
overall,
especially
going forward. Like
they said, like I thought it was really smart of them to sandwich it and say Spider-Man sold 33 million copies, which is insane, and be like, and now PC players can pay us too. I was like, yeah, like honestly,
yeah,
they're doing it. I think they should just do like a 6-month delay or something. Just like, here's the game, here's the next. Just go ahead and say, here's the release date for PC 6 months out.
I think eventually they're going to get to a point where it's day and date, but I think they need to have a launcher. I can't imagine Sony wants to keep giving Steam 30%.
Yeah.
And Valve. That's like, to them, they showed with their financials, and that feels like a lot when they're like, oh, Horizon sold 2.4 million copies on PC and we got $60 million from it. But then you do the math, you're like, well, it should have been more, like quite a bit more than that. And it's like, oh yeah, 30% goes to Valve. Oh yeah.
That's a lot, that's a lot, by the way, guys. I know it seems like it's small, like it was 30%. You're still, bro. That's a lot. We all work on YouTube. 30, they take 32.
30%'s a lot. So I can't. We're talking tens of millions of dollars for that. That went to Valve.
Better splits than the Amico. They were taking 50. I heard.
That's right. I forgot about that.
30% is a lot. So yeah, I agree. I think the launcher is coming at some point.
Yeah, their job listing showing it. And I think that's what they need to get past before they go, okay, we're just going day and date. Although I think one of these live service games that could be free to play for all we know, they might just do it on both. Like, here's PC, here's PlayStation. Just go for it. Same day.
It's like Rockstar. They have their own launcher, right? Or did they get rid of that?
Thought they got rid of it.
No.
Did they get rid of that?
I know Battle.net, that is probably going to go away after Microsoft picks up Activision Blizzard. Yeah, but I thought there was a Rockstar launcher, and that's how they did refunds or the gifting of like one of their other games for the situation with Trilogy. You had to buy it through there, and then they gave you like, oh, here's Bully or something.
Yeah, they have their own launcher. I just looked it up.
That's right, because that's how mods work. You just remember, because custom maps are done through their launcher.
Bethesda shut theirs down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what it was. Bethesda.
Yep. That's kind of the thing. I like Microsoft just wants you to sign up for Game Pass. They don't necessarily mind if Steam takes. They're trying to get Game Pass on Steam right now. That's their whole thing. So I can't imagine though. Sony is like, look, we need to get the full price for this. How do we do it? Okay, launcher. And they probably believe that their games are strong enough to make you download a free launcher.
It's a balance though, because then it's like the pure power of Steam, and like the availability and the marketing of Steam. It's like, do you balance it? Do you put it on both? I mean,
well, here's where I kind of think their strategy is, and they're thinking like 15 years from now, they want a launcher that goes between mobile, console, PC. And it's a launcher that will basically tie everything together with your trophies, your saves, anything like that, and your profile. And I think it just goes between all of that. And they would have their PlayStation Plus extras and premium be part of PC then. So they would figure out a way to get recurring revenue from PC gamers, which Microsoft kind of figured out with Game Pass. So I think that's their strategy long term. And I think that's the world where they have day and date releases, Max. I don't think they really want to do it on Steam.
Yeah, I do feel like, because there was talks like 6 or 7 years ago. I remember that Sony said that their ultimate goal was to like have you a PlayStation subscription service, and you get games like Game Pass and stream it to your PlayStation TV. They're like, we want you to be so deep in the Sony ecosystem. Yeah. So yeah, put it on a Sony phone.
Jim Ryan was very upfront about being disappointed that 20 million was like the roof that they've found for PlayStation only, like for their sales. They want those Nintendo numbers. They want that 40 million, which Spider-Man almost got there. I'll give them that before they put it on PC. It was close, but that's what they want. I mean, these games cost them hundreds of millions of dollars, so we'll see how that goes. Although they need to make that PlayStation VR 2 headset PC compatible as well. If that's not, I'm going to be real confused on that one. So Spider-Man, Evan, you already played through Spider-Man on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
You looking at it on PC too?
Not at all. No.
Wait, you didn't play Miles Morales though?
No, but I don't know. The game doesn't
Miles
really
is
appeal
good?
to me.
It's
as
really
much
good.
as- yeah, but I've watched people play it, and literally watching people play it, I had no interest. So it's
That
like
Steam sale pop up where it's like 15.
I mean, the only thing to do there is just to purchase it and leave it in the backlog, and then that's it.
Miles is good though. It's not a long game either.
That's my Steam. Man, I got so many games on Steam. Just never play.
Miles is good. And then we did get the release date for Stray. That is coming out July 19th. This is a game Sean is probably going to have to review.
You know, honestly, like I still think it's stupid because I don't like cats, but it doesn't look bad.
No, it looks. I actually think it could be interesting. It's unique looking.
Yeah.
I will say that. Click says she's very excited, by the way, and she'll punch you in the face, Sean. Otherwise,
Fuck cats.
Nate, what do you think of Stray?
He's under heavy gunfire right now.
Yeah, I had it muted because people in the chat apparently can't take a little popping in the background. But
You should unmute and turn the gain up.
I should put my microphone
Take the
right in the
microphone
window.
outside.
Yeah, hold the mic there and bring it like, hey, what's up, guys?
I feel like Nate, this is your kind of game right here, Stray.
I mean, it's on PlayStation Plus, isn't it? So I'll probably
It is.
check
It's
out
going to
on
go to
that.
the it's going to go to the extras or the premium tier, so it'll just be dropped in immediately. So hey, day one release, kind of not first party, but you know, it's in there.
Yeah, it's a game I'd give it a look, see how it goes, see how well they capture like the platforming aspects of the world and the puzzles and such. I saw people online making a big deal that the cats can they can milk thread on like the rug, and people are like, wow, that's what a cat does. It's like, yes, that is what a cat does. But
Maybe you could do some
neat.
footage on direct feed games.
maybe. I mean, it's July. We'll see.
You know what what it is about this game that I was thinking about that reminds me. It kind of reminds me of that weird PS2 era game.
Like what? Mosquito?
Yeah, like where they're like, hey, let's just try something weird. Let's just get like, who is like, yeah, we need an adventure puzzle game with a cat.
I mean, it reminds
Yeah,
me.
but I
It
think-
reminds me more of Little Nightmares than anything
Yes,
else.
I was about to say it. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, 2 years ago, we had a game literally titled Untitled Goose Game. And who thought we needed that? And it's one of the greatest games to come out this generation.
We all needed that game, Nate.
We did.
We didn't know it.
We had next one up, Callisto Protocol, December 2nd. This game
Yeah, that looks good.
awesome.
So good.
Yeah.
So this is the studio was formed from mostly one of the creators of Dead Space, and you can really see it here.
Glenn
I thought it was
Schofield.
Dead Space.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could see it. You could see it though. They were like, "Hey, let's make a studio and let's make Dead Space." And I mean, the interesting thing about this, by the way, is this comes out December 2nd. Dead Space Remake comes out like a month and a half or 2 months later. So
Yeah.
Space games back to back. I love it.
yeah, right.
It's that and then Resident Evil Remake right after it. So it's literally
Yeah.
just 3 months of solid AAA horror.
Yup. Dude, this game looks better than I thought it would.
What happened to Silent Hill?
That's next up.
No one said it was going to be at this show.
Summer
gonna be
Games
at the
Fest
next
coming up.
one.
You keep poking them. Hey, Summer Games Fest
Yeah,
coming
Summer
up.
Games Fest with Keely. Let's go.
Bluebird
Prime
team
Game
is
Fest.
but Bluebird team is confirmed to be at Summer Games Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, but shouldn't it be Konami? They're the publisher.
Like they're making
Ooh.
8 or 9 different Silent Hill games, and you gotta like, I don't know.
It's gone up to 8 or 9 now.
I don't know.
The Callisto Protocol, it looks brutal though. Like they had that cut where it was just violence all over the place, and it looks like it's gonna capture that really creepy, like you're alone in space kind of feel, sort of. So I'm on board with this one, and it's December 2nd, so they're gonna try to squeak in this year for this one. I don't know.
That game has been in development for a long time, so
Yeah?
I think it's going to be a good one when it comes out. I'm very hyped
okay.
about it.
Okay,
Perfect
very
game for
good.
holiday season.
Right. It's
Yeah.
very gruesome and very picturesque. I've already seen so many people making wallpapers of that trailer because it was just so crazy looking.
Yeah, it looks creepy. So I'm on board with that one. Rollerdrome coming out August 16th. This is the one where the person was skating around on rollerblades and had like the dual pistols from Tomb Raider.
Hope
like,
that's a free game.
I don't think it is. It's a free game.
It will be soon.
Yeah, right.
Was it a girl or was it a guy? I don't know, but like there's like a Speed Racer helmet. That's all I could think. It was like, yo, it's Speed Racer doing some flips, some rollerblading.
It seemed a lot slower than you'd expect for rollerblades and guns, or roller skates rather.
It's definitely an interesting idea. I don't know. I didn't really think of, hey, what happens if like the person has rollerblades and just starts dual pistoling
I'm
people?
pretty sure this is like the sequel to Ski Sniper.
It's
just as asinine.
So it's a must buy then.
No, it's a must pass.
It's from Private Division. Interesting.
I saw that. I felt bad. The devs were tweeting because they were so happy they were in a state of play. Like, we're right next to all these big games, and it's like,
Probably shouldn't be.
Yeah, right. It looked bad.
Oh, I don't know. We'll see. I guess when it comes out,
could be really good. It could be like a surprise. Like my friend Pedro.
Wow.
My friend Pedro.
That looked fun from the get go. This looks like
you're right.
Something.
Something.
Then it'll be free. When it's free, I'll play
to give it some slack, man.
Let's try it. Then we had Eternights. It's a anime action dating sim.
I like the action parts.
No, the dating parts are very important.
No, that's horrible.
No,
why would you do that?
Hold L2 to hold hands. It's
no.
Then you have haptic feedback. It's like actually holding a girl's hand. This will be the first experience for many of the people in the chat. No, I'm joking.
God damn. God damn, man.
Don't cancel me, guys.
OJ's dead. Damn.
Ooh.
Sean, I do believe there's I don't know, like a 10,000 like challenge or something.
Oh,
yeah, I don't think we made it though. I said that I would find a nice girl and actually date her.
Just like you're just gonna walk outside and be like, "Hey, you."
Yeah, and then
That's what he's been doing already.
I would play the action parts, and she would play the dating sim
Hey,
parts.
there's still time to get it to 10,000 likes.
Which video is that, Sean? The state of play video?
It might have been.
I thought it had to be within 24 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I'll extend it a little bit, but no one's gonna watch the state of play video anymore.
Mine's still popping off.
We had
on that video right now.
Street Fighter 6. Okay, I was not interested in Street Fighter 5 really at all.
Same.
I don't know, maybe it's the first time it came out, but even then I looked back because they had all these different versions of it. I never was like, I gotta go back. This looks good.
I'm a big Street Fighter fan. Been playing almost since day one. And Street Fighter 5 is like the 2% milk version. Everything else is cool, like orange juice and apple juice and cool drinks. And then you have this corny, cheesy Street Fighter 5. So Street Fighter 6 is bringing back the flavor. Kind of reminds me of, not gameplay wise of Third Strike, but just like the style. And Street Fighter 4, like the water. Like the
I like Street Fighter 4 a lot, and I'm not even a big Street Fighter person. I'm not good at them like that, but I was having a good time with Street Fighter 4. I like the style. The gameplay was fun.
Looked like 4 still.
Yeah.
You guys might want to check out Street Fighter 6 because they actually have a new control input method that makes things a bit easier for newcomers in this game. That's gonna, and there's like a whole like a free roam mode in there. They have a commentator mode in there. This actually looks like they're trying. Street Fighter 5 looked like they were not trying at all.
They weren't. They weren't. Remember when Street Fighter 5 launched? I remember going to my local skate shop because I needed a board. And my buddy was working there. He's like, "Yeah, I just picked up Street Fighter 5." I was like, "Oh, is it any good?" He's like, "Nah, there's like no characters in the game." I was like, "What?" There was like no content at the start of the game. It was just like, come on, dude. This isn't
what OJ wasn't the rumor that like it was 3 months before Evo and Street Fighter was like required they had to have a game to be an Evo, so they just released Street Fighter 5 purposely unfinished to make Evo, and that's why it was like 5 characters, whatever.
A combination of stuff. Capcom Pro World Tour, you need to get that going. That's a big thing for them. Evo is a big thing for them. So yeah, it was a combination of all the factors, you know, of that also being released. I mean, I'm not exactly sure when Sony wanted it done. You know, there was also a factor with that because so there was a large variety of things. Now, Street Fighter 5 ultimately ended up being solid. You know, it ended up being good after a number of years. They added in mechanics, V-shift, a bunch of characters. So it ended up being solid. But this one's probably going to have rollback netcode from the beginning. You know, and it's going to have more content. You can already tell it's going to have more content. They they purposefully leaked the characters, so we know the starting roster.
Yeah, I saw all these characters just started leaking everywhere. What was that?
They completely purposefully leaked the characters.
I post that meme where it's
your
like
meme was hilarious.
A Capcom person like, "Oops, I dropped this amazing roster. I sure hope you guys don't talk about it."
It's got DJ. It's got all these cool characters. It's got new ones. I mean, it looks good. Obviously, it's missing some characters, but they'll add more.
It's got alcohol.
I mean, it's smart that they did that though, because you probably have people that are hesitant to get hype about it because of how Street Fighter V launched.
Did y'all see all the leaked gameplay? Dude, there's tons of Street Fighter 6. A lot of it's been DMCA'd, but like people
I saw the Cammy Super that someone tweeted out. That was pretty good.
It looks amazing. It's one of those things where it makes me, I hope we get some sort of beta or demo or something, because Street Fighter 6 looks fun.
Yeah, they're gonna do a demo or like a beta for it, because it's rollback netcode, and they have to stress test that thing.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Stress test it. So we're definitely gonna get something, and it's also on Xbox back. It's back on Xbox again, so that's also, and it's probably gonna be crossplay, so they have to get something with all that, and it's on PS4 and it's PS4, PS5, Xbox Series S, X, and also
going to PC. Xbox. It was interesting that okay, Capcom's in a better spot now. I guess they didn't need to take that Sony bag necessarily.
Fighting games, you need rollback. In modern fighting games, you need rollback, you need crossplay.
It's gonna be full crossplay, I assume, right?
Yeah.
Like they're just gonna get as many as can. Yeah.
You need crossplay. You need rollback. These are the things that you need. So limiting Street Fighter to one platform, in my opinion, is one of the worst mistakes. It's not a good idea, in my opinion, for a fighting game, because fighting games are not what they, like, it's just different with fighting games these days. So that's why there's a lot of hype with this one. So I like the fact that it's coming back to Xbox and it's going to be crossplay, more players to play again. So that's always a good thing.
Maybe the Switch will get a cloud version of it.
Oh my gosh.
That's probably not a good idea for
a cloud version of the fighting game. Oh no. That's 2023 though. So we're starting to stack up 2023 a bit here, but like we were saying, it could be a beta or something, network test. So it'd be interesting to see that. But also, what was with it almost looked like they had like this single player thing going on where you're running around like this
free roam stuff.
Like a story mode. Because it was in Metro City. And when it started, I thought maybe it was Final Fight, because Final Fight is set in Metro City. So I was like, is this Final Fight or Street Fighter? But yeah, I think it's got some really cool free roam story mode thing, which is interesting.
So you go around, maybe like you do like story stuff, and then all of a sudden it stops, throws you into a fight, and then you go back with the story stuff rolling around.
It looks like you'll have optional, like you can fight certain people or go do certain things, and the story's crazy. I mean, like the story's nuts in the game. They already talked about it a bit, like with Ken, like. If you go look up the story with Ken, they're all calling him washed. What happened?
Looks like he's having a hard time.
Yeah, he said Ken's having a hard. Ken's my favorite Street Fighter character ever, so Ken's having a hard time. Ken's a multimillionaire. He's obvious, but he's going through a rough patch in this one. So
well, Capcom. What was that game that Capcom made? It was PS2. It might have been Xbox as well, where it was like a sort of like pseudo free roam game where you like go up and talk to people, and then you could like fight them. Does anyone remember what I'm talking about? I want to say it was called. Fuck. I'll look it up.
Is it 3D or 2D?
It's 3D.
I think I have it. Was it Fighter Pro Max or something?
No, Breakdown. Crack. Not Crack.
No, Breakdown was the original
is
Xbox.
Namco.
Yeah. I do like Breakdown.
PS2 game?
Terrible moves.
Yeah, that was a PS2 game. It made me think of that.
What I'm thinking of, because I know
Beatdown. Thank you, Enrique. Beatdown. None of y'all played Beatdown.
I haven't.
Damn shame. I really like that game.
I didn't play Beatdown. I didn't play it.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure critics fucking hated it, but I had a lot of fun with it.
It's got terrible scores.
What's that Metacritic?
That IGN back then, they gave it a 4.6.
To be fair, they gave God Hand like a 3 or something. So.
Yeah, that's true. So I'll look at
action RPG beat 'em up. You're gonna give that a 4? Come on, that's
this got's a 48.
It's fun.
It's got no positive reviews, not a single positive.
No.
Got one from me. Damn it.
It's got some slightly less bad ones.
Then
User score is 8.3 though. User score.
See, people enjoying it. Then we had Tunic. Tunic's coming to the PlayStation 4 and 5 on September 27th. So yeah, you could shout out Tunic. And then they had Season, A Letter to the Future. Sean could probably explain this trailer to us. Autumn 2022.
That was the game. You gotta have one, and that was the game.
Okay. All right. I'll take your word for it. And they had the big closeout game, which I will give them credit for the state of play. They opened strong and they closed very strong because they had Final Fantasy 16 here. And this trailer was absolutely incredible.
It was good.
This was a really good trailer. Like, this set the tone. I liked basically everything, but there's some things they need to explain in this trailer. I'll say that. But I think after 15, which was not very good. That's right. I said it. Not very good. At 16 looks much better. So far.
Dude, it looks insane. So they actually released a blog post. I did a video reading it, but they released a long blog post basically explaining what's happening in the Dominance trailer. Because it turns out that it's that certain people have the instead the summons in this game are bound to a particular person, and they call them the Dominants because they're so powerful. They basically influence entire kingdoms, and we're playing as a guy who's had a dominant and awakened in him. So he's going against like other generals and stuff who have different dominants.
That's Naruto, but okay.
I know, exactly. Yeah, exactly. The power of the nine tails is inside.
Definitely, the different nations have QBs put in them, or has Jinchurikis put in them, and then they control nations with them. But I like Naruto, so that's good.
No,
that's good.
The one thing they said in there that kind of grabbed me that I think is going to make the story really great is it sounds like it makes your lifespan super short. Like, it sort of sounds like you get about 10 years of a dominant before it just destroys you, is the way it kind of phrased it. So it makes it sound like you become this soldier and a hero and explore the lands and go on this big adventure, but it's like Final Fantasy X, where like you got this finite life, like do what you got to do because it better be great, Yeah. Man, they show that I want to quickly say, holy heck, that combat. I know they said that it was the Devil May Cry, but dude, that combat is so fast.
The person doing leading the combat for the team is Devil May Cry.
That's the first thing that I said when I saw the trailer. I was like, this is like DMC5. I didn't know how I felt about it, but if you just take it as it's just going to go that way, then it's okay, right? Like it's fine because the combat does look really dope. It looks good. Like there's just no, it looks good. Do you guys think that there's going to be any Souls elements in this game?
I hope not, because I don't think they pulled it off very well with Stranger's Paradise. So I don't. They can leave that at the door.
No Souls,
Yoshi P, the director of this game, has talked a lot in a bunch of interviews over the course of the last couple of years that he's trying to make the most accessible experience. He's even said they're working apparently on some sort of single player version of Final Fantasy 14 so people can experience the story.
I can see that.
And he did that. So I think to some degree he wants to be super accessible.
Sign me up for that. No, like offline single play, like Dragon Quest X has like an offline mode, like something like that. I would be all over that.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. I mean, it's the most successful Final Fantasy in history. So why wouldn't they do that? Why wouldn't they do that? What do you think of this trailer, Jordan? You excited? Final Fantasy 16? We in it?
Yeah, I think it visually interesting. The story seems interesting. I think I'm on a different boat with you. I enjoyed 15 for what it was, and I like when Final Fantasy changes things up each time, and then you think you have, like, from the first time we saw it, okay, it looks a little more grounded, and then all of a sudden you get a trailer like this and you're like, oh, never mind, it's completely Final Fantasy. So I'm on board. I think it looks really cool, and I didn't expect it to be that far away. Summer next year. I thought it would be a little sooner than that, so I was surprised that it was quite the ways away.
I wasn't really expecting it for this year because Forspoken is coming out for this holiday, so I was like, well, we'll see. Square might just push that one out and keep moving at this point. All right, so get out of here. We're just going to 16 now. But when they kind of moved Forspoken there, I was like, well, I don't think they're gonna put Final Fantasy next to it. So that next summer, it sounds like they were working to finish the game up now, just about. So maybe they'll just be polishing and just doing more work to it as they go along after it's mostly been completed. But the thing that really got me about this trailer is the emphasis on the summons.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot, like they just ran through them. They were like Shiva, Ifrit, Bahamut, and they're just like flashing them up there. I'm trying to figure out how this is going to work with the combat beyond what they show us, like the health bars and stuff, but then they show the summons as part of it too.
I think you control the summons.
I almost wonder if instead of a traditional
Power
party
Rangers
where you
moment.
have people that travel with you, I almost wonder if you just have your summons are your party.
Well, it seems like you are one person. I think from reading the blog post, you are the dominant. So I think it's sometimes you're going to fight soldiers on the ground. And we've seen some clips of like, there's a clip that was going around a while ago of the character punching and Garuda's wing came out when he uppercutted somebody. So I think it's that as we defeat the dominants, maybe we'll absorb them somehow. So you'll slowly, the way you get the different weapons in Devil May Cry over time, and then you level them up.
Well,
I think it's
I'm also
like
thinking like Final Fantasy X, where you go to the different temples and you get a summon there.
Yeah.
I'm always thinking as you travel through this, you get more and more summons, and they just showed us some. Maybe there's like 20 or 30 some odd summons in this game that you can find. Like they could have Yojimbo in there or something, some like off the wall, something, right?
Odin.
They could do some really cool stuff in this with the different summons, and maybe you can like just build out your team that way. And what if they got into like the summons backstories and like had a bunch of story for them, and like you learn and like actually grow attached to the summons? Like there's some really cool stuff they could do there.
15 did that. One question I want to actually ask the panel. I've seen a ton of discussion over on the Final Fantasy side of Twitter. A lot of people seem mixed about the very medieval setting, because the last couple major Final Fantasies, we've been getting like with the Final Fantasy VII Remake, obviously very steampunk. Final Fantasy 14 has robots and stuff all over the place. How do y'all feel about purely classic Final Fantasy coming back?
It's old school. Feels old school. I like it.
Better than boy band stuff.
The shift that they always just keep doing something different. You know, they'll swap it around. You know, I think that's the coolest part for me.
I kind of like the style a little bit more of like 15, just like how like not like the character. I kind of like that a little bit more than the traditional type of look, but it's not that big of a deal at the end of the day, because you're going to be fighting. They gotta the combat's got to be the top notch thing. So like when you're fighting, I like the character designs, like the main character, like the first person they showed, like he's cool. Like some of the designs are cool. Some of them I'm kind of like on, but I mean, it's at the end of the day, I think it's just gonna melt away once you start enjoying the game, you know. So I don't really think it's that big of a deal, even if you don't like it at first, you know.
Here's another question: is this game mature rated?
Yes,
it's got to be. I mean,
you think so? You think they're gonna do it? You think they're gonna push a big?
The first trailer, the guy gets his whole split, blood goes flying everywhere.
It's always been like they've always done like teen for these big numbered Final Fantasies.
No, this one's
yes, but a lot of the spin-offs went M. Like I always think about Type Zero. Type Zero
was M. That was a big deal.
They like murdered kids in that.
That was a big deal when that one matured. I remember that was actually a massive deal. They were like, "Whoa, this Final Fantasy game's ready to mature."
This one's mature. Like that first trailer. You can
Interesting.
It was a little child and his dad or whoever that is just gets split open right there.
Well,
his head
and that Chocobo, I feel like specifically also like violence against animals, the ratings board seems extra hard on. The fact that they showed that Chocobo died very badly in the first trailer, you know.
But Chocobo's not a real animal.
Oh yeah, you know what? I'll eat Chocobo meat. I'll do it.
In Type Zero, they like murdered a Chocobo very early on, and it was like, yeah, this is serious. So I mean, yeah, dude, it was like the Chocobo was like bleeding out. You're like, oh wow, this is not the Final Fantasy I thought I was getting into. So that's gonna be interesting for them to go that route. And I mean, it's gonna be more action oriented. It looks like it's very fast. Kind of seems like the big budget turn-based JRPGs may be fading away here.
Done. That's what I want them to do. I want them to make a whole separate thing.
I almost feel like that's what Team Asano's for. They're like, hey,
but give them more than give them more than $10.
Yeah, I know. That's well, they're like, look, if you sell 1 million, high five, we did it. Is kind of how they're looking at it, I guess.
The profit margin on those games are really good, but like it would be great if they kind of made a whole separate thing for the people who want the, you know, like want the other style as well, which I talked about in a video. I think some people didn't understand. They wanted me to think that it should just be turn-based. I'm like, no. They should create pillars. They should create a separate thing. Hey, here's your super high quality, more old school Final Fantasy. You can still get your action Final Fantasy. You can still have this one, but we can have another one. Almost kind of like Capcom. There's Monster Hunter Stories 2, which is a turn-based RPG. There's Monster Hunter Rise. which is the Switch, its thing, high quality. And then there's Monster Hunter World, probably going to make another follow-up to Monster Hunter World. Like, and they're probably going to do more with Switch and Rise or whatever the next thing is. Like, they have multiple pillars. And I think Final Fantasy has kind of done that, but they're not doing it on Capcom's level. Capcom is a bit.
I'll tell you how we know if the turn-based big budget JRPG really is a thing of the past is if Dragon Quest 12 shifts to being more action focused outside of just they've been very traditional with Dragon Quest. Although in 11 you can actually move around with your character in battle, which I think people were like, that's weird. And I almost wonder if that, because they said there's going to be a change in the traditional combat system for Dragon Quest.
I think they're going to move to ATB, and with also
I can see that.
potentially moving around and ATB.
Yeah.
That's what I'm guessing. But the moving around in Dragon Quest 11, it doesn't really. I mean, it still
doesn't really do much.
Yeah, it doesn't,
you just run around
much. But yeah, I mean that'd be interesting if that was the case. Dragon Quest 11 sold really well though as a turn-based RPG, so it'd be interesting to see.
I think they want 10 million. I think they're like, look, we're gonna dump all this money and we want 10 million sold. And like Dragon Quest is like I think 6.5 million sold, which is good, but like they're Square's probably like we need 10.
I personally think like Persona could do that if Atlas wasn't weird.
I mean, we all know this about Persona. We've been down this road.
Persona could do 10 million if Atlas wasn't
Easy.
like Atlas.
Yeah, we know. Yeah, we all know this now. So, but Persona 6, maybe they take a swing. I don't know.
I doubt it.
It seems like
it's gonna be a PS4 exclusive.
It's gonna be PS5 exclusive, not even PS4. It's
gonna be a PS4 exclusive, not PS5.
Oh man.
No back compat somehow. It just seems like Square Enix is still so gun shy about turn-based, because like I think the next turn-based thing that even comes to mind is maybe Ever Crisis. Final Fantasy VII Ever Crisis. They did a talk and they said that Ever Crisis is actually about to come out sometime this month. They're just going to randomly drop it, and so we're just going to have turn-based Final Fantasy VII Remake sometime.
I'm looking forward to 16. I am. Summer. A year from now.
There's a lot.
Feels like it's really far away.
You'll be here before you know it.
There's gonna
games to play in between.
There's gonna be delays. I feel like we're all hyped for 2023, but so much stuff is getting pushed to 2023. I kind of feel like some of that stuff's gonna get pushed again.
What do we think of the state of play overall?
It was
very good. Very good.
Good
job.
Okay.
They're learning.
I mean, the bar was kind of low.
Wasn't a 10, but it was good.
But you got to remember, it was all third-party stuff.
Well, I mean, we had Call of the Mountain and like
it was all third-party stuff.
But they said that though. They did.
They did.
They did tell us that beforehand. The only issue to me, I don't think it was a 10 because all the big stuff's coming out next year. If more of that stuff was this year, because they said third-party, so I'm rating it based off of third-party. And it's multiplat. It's all of it. Outside of the Final Fantasy, it's multiplat, but that's okay too. Just compare it to previous state of plays. You have to kind of go based off of what we got before, right?
Yeah.
So if you base it off of that, I mean, I can see why Max give it a 10. I think
it's also just, to me, it was partially the fact that I try and rate it as a presentation. As a presentation, the flow of that was perfect. It was just banger, banger, banger. Yeah, a lot of it's third party and stuff, and if it's coming out next year, but all bangers.
Well, they closed out with I guess the PS5 title was 16, so they at least did that right. And they opened up with RE4, which, I mean, people seem to just associate these Resident Evil games with PlayStation at this point because they've had the marketing this whole time for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's marketing's important for a lot of these bigger third-party games.
Sure,
whether people want to admit that or not.
In the realm of state of play, I think this is the best one they've held, and it wasn't even like Sony holding it up really. But
that's not even a question.
Sony's first party titles generally are saved for PlayStation experiences. Like that's what or showcase, that's what they call them, right?
Showcase, yeah.
Yeah. So like whenever they do state of plays, I immediately go to third party games that Sony has some sort of deal with, obviously to showcase it or in some way. So I think for that, it was very good. Nate, what'd you think of the show?
I thought it was solid. It was pretty good overall.
Go drink a bottle of wine, you fuck. It was a good state of play.
I mean, you Spawn Wave, not me.
It was what Sony needed right now. The biggest drawback to it is that it lacks surprise in terms of announcements. We've known Resident Evil 4 Remake is a thing now for 2 years, so it's just a matter of when will we see it. And this was the good opportunity for them. seeing Resident Evil 8 get the PSVR 2 mode finally announced was good. Getting the new trailer of Final Fantasy 16. I mean, it's a fantastic trailer. It looks fantastic. You know, it looks great, but it was also something that I think a lot of people were anticipating. We had Square Enix come out just a few weeks ago saying, we're finishing up the trailer. We delayed it for an unknown reason at the time. So it's kind of easy to put one and one together, you know, everything there. Overall, it was a strong showing. It could have been propelled to higher heights had Sony included some of their first party titles. If we got a date for like God of War, had that been shown, it definitely would have helped the presentation. But for a third party focused presentation, it's probably the best Sony could put together.
Okay.
Like, imagine if they had like 2 first party games on that. That'd be one of the best fucking things like ever.
Well,
you know?
well, like for example, OJ was saying there wasn't like any big titles here for this year. What if God of War was the actual ending game and it was like, oh, it's coming out in October, September, like that? I mean, that would be pretty big there. I'm starting to wonder if God of War is just going to get dated in Summer Games Fest.
I think it is. Well, and I'll be honest, and this was just a complete guess on my part. I 100% thought that they were going to end with just like 10 seconds of new God of War footage and said like, tune into the next showcase of first party games. I kind of thought that they would, you know, do something. It was weird that God of War wasn't there at all.
Well, yeah, I mean, they basically told us going in, it's third party. So
yeah, I didn't expect any third party, or sorry, I didn't expect any third party. I didn't expect any first party. I didn't expect God of War or anything like that. So I'm not grading it based off of them not having God of War, them not having some like Infamous or some type of, or Wolverine or something like that.
I think they're saving for a Summer Games Fest or a State of Play. I wouldn't be shocked though if Jeff got them to show off the date there though. So, which they will find out this week.
Sony wants to control their own stuff. I don't think Summer Games Fest has God of War.
It gets drowned out. Like, unless he isolated it, you know, and said, this is, because all they have is really all they have for the rest of this year, big game. It's like God of War. So I'm not sure if they're going to have a complete showcase of a bunch of new games. I mean, maybe they do later. Maybe they do. I'm not sure. But I was thinking maybe they do like a whole God of War direct, you know, or something like that, where they just do that and
like what they did for Ghost.
You know?
Yeah, I think that because they've been doing that for a lot of stuff. I mean, they did it for Ghostwire Tokyo
and Horizon and
Gran Turismo.
That seems to help sell games. The Ghost of Tsushima one sold me on the game. You know, actually just seeing 30 minutes of gameplay helps.
Yes. So good state of play. Definitely was much more exciting than basically all the other ones. Evan, do we have Discord question over there?
Question for anyone who can clarify the deal with Spider-Man and Sony. He thought Sony only owned the film rights, so he was trying to figure out how come the games always seem to be kind of stuck on PlayStation.
Sony has the film rights for Spider-Man. Marvel has the merchandise rights, and I believe even just video game stuff. But Sony made the deal with them. They went around, they asked Xbox, and Xbox said no. So, good idea. And Sony decided to get Insomniac on board, and they made Spider-Man. I mean, Spider-Man can still show up in other games. Spider-Man's in Marvel Ultimate Alliance 3.
On Switch, yeah.
On Switch. Like, they can do that. If someone wanted to, I'm sure they can make it happen. There might be some clauses. It's like, you can't make a game that's like just Spider-Man, maybe.
Yeah.
Something like that. But
Spider-Man and Friends.
There we go.
Right.
See?
Yeah.
You could maybe make an Avengers game and bring in Spider-Man.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. You can make a game with Spider-Man's part of the cast, but you can't make a singular Spider-Man game, you know, because we used to get a lot of those.
Yeah.
And now we don't.
Yep.
Maybe for the best. Some of those old Spider-Man games suck.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of ones that are trash. There's a lot of bad Spider-Man games, but some of them are good. Ultimate Spider-Man's good. You know, the Spider-Man, the one on GameCube, the Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, Spider-Man 2. Yeah,
is legit. Yeah, and I think this is gonna be the first Spider-Man on Steam. And what Spider-Man game is even on Steam right now? Any of them?
I don't think there is one.
Yeah, so this game's gonna sell like crazy on PC when it drops. So.
Well, the mods are gonna be fucking insane.
That's why I want to buy it. I want to buy it just to see what people add to it.
Oh, the mods are gonna be
dicks,
ridiculous.
probably.
Dude, I'm gonna drag my sack across the ground while swinging down Fifth Avenue. It's gonna be great.
You got another one, Evan?
What song more than any others immediately makes you think of a game? For example, this guy has Rage Against the Machine's Guerrilla Radio for Tony Hawk Pro Skater 2.
I'm gonna say
For Eris theme, as soon as I hear the first piano chord, I know that
I think it's easy. Offspring, Crazy Taxi, right? Like as soon as you hear,
I'm gonna
it's
say
Crazy Taxi.
Halo 2 and Breaking Benjamin.
Cage the Elephant for Borderlands.
What? No one knows that. Remembers that scene where you break in, you got the shotgun, and they yeah.
Is that really a thing?
What? Yeah.
When you bought the game, you could go into the special features and even watch the music.
I forgot.
It was so hype, Sean. They removed it.
No.
The Chief Collection.
I forgot that Sean hasn't played any of the campaigns for Halo.
Multiplayer only.
Oh man.
Colds with my mind for psyops. I remember watching that over and over again.
Yeah, Goldfinger Superman for Tony Hawk is a good one too. That's a good one.
Curtis Mayfield Pusher Man for Narc.
Is that a thing?
That's a good one.
Yeah. Narc, the Narc remake on PS2. And that was like the first time I'd ever heard that song before. And I would just loop it over and over. I was like, yeah, that song rules.
Mad World for Gears of War.
Yep,
that's a good one too.
Man Who Sold the World, Metal Gear Solid 5.
Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a pretty repetitive song.
Music.
Yeah, I guess.
Games.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I like it, but I guess most of the time I think of the original soundtrack because I'm such a Final Fantasy.
Simple and Clean with Kingdom Hearts. That is a commercial that I think played 30 times back in the day in like one like block of Cartoon Network.
Probably.
Yeah.
Here's to You from Metal Gear Solid 4.
Let me go to.
Nobody knows Here's to You.
No, that's a good one. The problem is, we all keep forgetting it, just like Konami.
It was also in Metal Gear Solid 5, so
Nothing's better than Snake Eater. Original track.
Yeah, that one
Nothing's better than original track that hits.
That one does hit pretty. Yeah, that one does hit.
All these licensed stuff, they're cool, but it doesn't compare when you actually get a real song that's made for the game.
I don't know. I think licensed music was important in the 90s and early 2000s though, because you didn't have things like YouTube Music and all these music streaming services. Like I found out about a lot of bands and artists like Curtis Mayfield, In Flames, like that. Tony Hawk games brought me into that. So there's tons.
Don't get me wrong. I love the licensed music in Tony Hawk.
Well, yeah, that's like half the game. Yeah. I feel like they went. I feel like they went crazy back then because they finally got like CD like quality audio on these games, the PS1, and they were like, just put all the music in, people know.
That stuff was great. Like Tony Hawk and like the games that were it felt relevant in, where it felt like it fit naturally to have licensed music because I love Tony Hawk.
What about I Stand Alone from Prince of Persia Warrior Within?
Yeah.
There's this kid. This is terrible. There was this kid in middle school who high school, who would always just be like standing by himself in the courtyard. And one of our friends had a video camera, and then like he knew how to edit videos, and he like put that song over it. And we would just get really like messed up and watch that video and just laugh for hours and hours. It was so funny.
What?
We called him Haggard Standalone Kid.
This is.
Damn. Bragging about bullying,
mocking me when I was a kid. Great.
Yeah, you didn't realize I was Evan
the whole time. He had blonde hair and glasses.
This is from I Live for Retro saying Rollerdrome from State of Play is from the same devs that made Ollie Ollie World. Looks like a fun time.
Oh yeah,
nice. Okay.
Lewis says, how much of RE4 do y'all see being changed? I know Code Veronica is highly requested, but do you think they'll remake 5 and 6 to fit in better with all these other remakes? Have a great one. They can just remove 6 from canon. Just get rid of that. Just
right.
Remake
that
5
just go
for
away.
sure.
Well,
throw it in the trash, Raccoon City. Good.
I think they're gonna probably do 5 and 6 in like 10 years, but I honestly think they're gonna change 90% of Resident Evil 4. I hope
that'd be interesting.
I hope they keep a couple of the jokes. That's my one concern, is that the whole like your right hand comes off, or where's everyone going? Bingo. I think some of those jokes were really essential to RE4.
You think they're gonna do like dramatic camera cuts when he says that, or he's like, where's everyone going? God. It's just bingo.
That or at the very least, like, remember when you sat in the throne? Like that's such a funny joke when he like deals like this in the throne at the end of RE4. Like, I don't know, stuff like that. If we lose that, I feel like you
guys are all missing the thing that they need to change for the better. Does anybody know what I'm about to say?
Ashley,
at the very end of the game, the situation with Ashley.
Yeah,
no, he can't take overtime.
I need an option. No, stop, Nate. I need an option
cannot take
to help this
overtime.
young lady relieve some stress after that whole situation she's been through. I think that is so rude of Leon. I'm not going to spoil it for people who haven't played it, but that was the
Leon
rudest
is
thing
not
that I've
that
ever
type
seen.
of guy.
No, bro,
Leon is
she just
committed
went through
only
that
to the
stress.
mission.
She needs some help. We're trying to help her. This should be something that we should do.
Lewis was willing.
The Twitter threads can.
Lewis was ready and willing.
Lewis is not.
They're going to totally change Ashley. Ashley this time is going to insist for the overtime. She's not going to ask.
Isn't she only like 18?
So?
She's 18 or she younger?
Stop it. She's a,
You have to
Chip
age
Winger
check
made a song
Ashley
about
Graham.
17.
What?
You have to age check
Only
her.
17.
She's of age. No, she's of age. Guys, stop it. She's of age. She's
Look, the president said it's cool. That means if the president says it's cool, it's not illegal.
She's everything I need. 17. Daddy says she's too young, but she's old enough for me.
Khalil says, just found a Nintendo
My new
64,
ringtone.
a Sega Genesis, and a Mad Cat Xbox controller in my attic. I feel old now.
Throw it away.
A Mad Cat's Xbox controller. Ooh. Truly Epic says, I can't tell if RGT's Sonic video was satire or not. Oh, we're going to talk about Sonic Frontiers here in a minute. Wolf,
People are just too negative.
I'm going to need a Gauntlet Dark Legacy remake at MVG.
I'm on it.
All right.
How do none of these people know Winger 17? What are you, 12 years old?
I know,
Winger
probably.
17. Look up the song.
This one says, hey, Spawncast, how do you all get through games you're not the biggest fans of? And when do you decide to drop a game? Thanks.
All right, to me, it's
Get
work.
bored.
I
well,
am bored.
I beat a lot of games even if I don't like them, just because honestly it is my job. But also I set these designated gaming hours, so I don't want to switch games. Sometimes even if I think I'm close to the end, I'll finish it off. There have been times where I hated a game and I put it on easy and just one shot all the enemies, but I usually finish it.
play games that I don't like.
McPot says, what's one unexpected surprise announcement that you think Nintendo might make at their June Direct?
Metroid Prime 4.
That they're having a Nintendo Direct in June. That's the big surprise.
Whoa.
Silk Song, baby. I'm gonna say it forever.
Silk Song, that's the
Keep
unexpected
saying
one.
Silk Song till it happens.
Mother 3, that's the unexpected one.
Mother.
Time for
I have Mother 3 on my Game Boy right now. I'm about to start playing it actually.
There you go. It's a good game. Good game. Heaven says, I've given up on getting a PS5. I decided to treat myself to a new foam mattress instead. What brand do you guys recommend?
I just got this new. I just went furniture shopping yesterday, and I just got. I forgot what it was called, but it was like a mattress that like it keeps you cool because where I live, it's like hot as hell. So it has like this bedding where like it's not too soft, it's not too firm. It's like right in the middle, and it also has like this cool bedding foam. So I forgot what it was called though. So my bad.
Glenn says, what happened to the FF9 animated series that was supposed to be announced at that Las Vegas Expo? Love the grade A state of play. Wife loves Stray. Yeah, what happened to that animated series? I thought they were doing like some closed door presentations of it, but I don't think we got any like screenshots or anything of it yet. So
Yeah, not a peep. I may have been a bad rumor, but yeah, I was ready for it. Because yeah, the rumor is that we're getting a Final Fantasy IX remake, and the anime is supposed to help sell that or something.
The Uncharted Wolf says, whoever at Square decided to have the choir sing out the summon names during FF16 trailer deserves a massive raise. I've rewatched it 20 times.
Soaking, baby.
That was pretty epic. Yeah, that was pretty good. That was pretty good. Kyle, no message here. Thanks, Kyle. Lance says $110,000 to 5-star your character in Diablo Immortal. Is there anything beyond ignoring these games to get publishers to calm down? $110,000 5-star?
Really?
Seems a little out there.
Yeah,
That's a deal.
So that's a specific thing though. You can do it naturally, but yeah, it's all one of the weird things that sucks in Diablo Immortal that I think is going to kill that game immediately is there's like the rifts that are really fun to do. You have to basically put in real money. So you get one free dungeon a day, or you can pay. So if you want to power level and get the good items, you have to pay
Dungeons
every
cost
time you run the
money?
dungeon. Yeah, I know.
man.
Yeah. They call it crests.
Interesting. Kiki says Forza Horizon 5's Battle Royale is so much better than Halo Infinite's BR. Such a good take on the BR formula. Because they have like the last Spartan standing thing there. I think we're gonna get a different kind of Battle Royale for Halo Infinite from the other team that's working on it right now. PTP says, as someone who has never played any horror-like games, what is the best game to start with looking to get into Resident Evil? Resident Evil's a good entry into like the horror genre. Unfortunately, now it's more action oriented, but they kind of went back to it with Resident Evil 7 and 8
and half of 8.
Honestly,
Half of 8, yeah.
any of those, 7, Resident Evil 2, yeah, Cold War. If you're going classic, I think there's tons. If you just Google survival horror, like there's so much. But I do think the Resident Evil 2 remake and Resident Evil 3 remake,
yeah, Resident Evil 2 remake's a good one. Just jump in. It's you can buy the double pack on sale half the time for like $25, and they're getting the free upgrades to the PS5 and the Xbox Series. So like, I'd start there. Why not?
I would recommend The Evil Within.
Oh,
personally,
that's a good one too.
Evil Within 2, Evil Within 1's a little bit raw.
Little says if the Spawncast was on Hell's Kitchen, which member would do the best?
John.
Yeah, John.
No,
give it to me.
I'm not cooking that kind of food. Yeah, MVG's grilling.
I fucking clean up on that show.
I'm not making that kind of food.
Not me.
Bro, I'm so mad.
If you got air fryers, maybe I'll do some air
frying.
frying.
There we go.
I make really good French toast and nothing else.
MVG is killing it with that grill over there. I don't know. I got it pretty well.
Y'all gotta follow if y'all don't follow MVG on Twitter, he just tweets out steaks were made occasionally, and it's just the most delicious steaks you've ever seen in your life.
I only need to do it to mess with Sean to compete with his Foreman grill cooking.
George Foreman roadkill chicken.
I made chicken tacos today on the Foreman grill. They were delicious.
Did they even have any flavor to them, or are they just this dry, massive meat?
You season the chicken to make it have
what do
flavor.
What do you season it with?
Taco seasoning, because I was making tacos.
You know what? A little trick with chicken, Sean, is if you take the chicken after you've like cut it up and gotten it to where you want it to be,
and cook it on an actual grill.
You put it on a plate. You put salt on it, so you salt it really well. Put it in your fridge for an hour, and it'll actually be like very juicy.
I take a pair of scissors, I clip the little side of it, I take out the individual chicken breast, because they're the Purdue chicken breasts that come in 5-piece, put some paper towels on it, throw my seasoning on it, throw it on the Foreman. Done.
Paper towels?
You got to get rid of like the egg shit, because
you're
it's all
supposed
wet
to run that
and
underwater.
Nah, I just do paper towels.
And then eat the paper towel, I assume?
Nah, you throw it away.
Okay. Solo says, I'm not a
What
hard
did this
person.
taste like exactly?
Delicious.
Paper towel.
It tastes like paper towel, the finest of paper towels. Is it charmin?
So it tastes like taco seasoning?
Yeah, if you just open a bag of taco seasoning and lick it, that's what it tastes like, probably.
No, because there's chicken. Naked HD XYZ agrees with me. The cheapest one-time 18+ dates. See, perfect.
They don't agree with you. They just posted a bunch of gibberish.
No, they agreed.
Let's see. This is from Solo saying, I'm not a hard person to please. This state of play had RE4, FF16, and Street Fighter 6. I'm sold. There you go. Let's talk about Sonic Frontiers.
Slander.
We had two
slander.
We've had 2 gameplay trailers for IGN first so far. The first one showed off what they called traversal, and the second one showed off what they called combat. Okay, so
hold on. Before we even get into this,
why does it look like an Unreal Engine tech demo with ripped Sonic assets?
Oh man,
Riddle me that one, Sean.
Here's the problem with they've. Of course, it's Sega, so they have to fuck things up. Nothing can be simple.
True.
This whole 7-minute present, stupid as fuck. Go back to when 2 days ago, 3 days ago, however long ago it was, when all we had was that 30-second trailer. Everyone was like, wow, this looks really cool. Look at this. There's combat. There's some sort of,
because they hit a lot of the stuff.
But how is that hiding? You're not separating stuff. Imagine if you watched a Mario game where all you did was walk around and like, oh, this is what you do. Are there any enemies? Well, I don't know. Well, that's in the next trailer. Like, the whole rollout of this game has been ass. I think the game could still be fine. It's not coming until 2023.
It's coming out at the end of this year, isn't it?
It's coming out this year.
I thought it got delayed. I'm pretty sure it got delayed.
I think it got delayed to this year.
To this year.
Yeah, it's supposed to come out in the next 4 months.
Another rumor came out today that apparently they wanted to launch it last year, and they were like, maybe we should cook it more.
They admitted that they wanted to launch it, but they delayed it for better quality. The problem, I think, is that we're seeing this right now, like 4 or 5 months before launch. If this was shown last year and it was coming out this year, then I think things wouldn't have been as bad. But like Sean says, this is ridiculous marketing for this game. We just got like SMT5 where they didn't just show Nahabito running around. They showed him in gameplay trailers. There's no need to do all this IGN first. Shout outs to IGN. I like the people that work there. But like
IGN.
Okay. But there's no need to do all this walking around and they could have just cut together some gameplay trailers and then just went from there. And then when you have something to show, like actual gameplay with more stuff in there, then just show it. Then I don't understand the reasoning for these empty long.
There's no part of this game that actually looks promising, because they're saying we want to do the Breath of the Wild scheme in game direction. But then there's just random launch pads and speed boosts scattered on this random area. That doesn't make any sense.
But they can make it make sense if they actually had a competent trailer. That's the problem.
They show gameplay, and the gameplay looks terrible. You can make a competent trailer to make the game look good, but then when you go to play it and it looks and runs like trash.
There's no context to the trailer.
Yeah,
there's no context whatsoever. If we have a context, and that's to assume that this area is the one area in the game, which obviously it's not going to be. It's probably going to be more futuristic. Probably going to be like a casino theme level.
Desert.
If you put some context in it, give people the reason to be watching this trailer beyond seeing traversal, name another video game that has done this.
Well, actually, all the IGN firsts. So I've seen a bunch of the IGN employees are actually defending this weird drip feed. Apparently, it also came out that this.
Of course they are, because they're getting views on each one of them, so they're making money.
Well, additionally, what's weird is that it seems like this isn't an IGN employee's gameplay. Like, this isn't IGN playing it. This is Sega. This is the developers playing it. This is what they think displays the game. And that makes it weird, is that, honestly, I don't think this looks terrible. I am going to play it. I am very excited for Sonic Frontiers personally. But my thing is just like, I wish they just showed 5 minutes, just run down one track. Doing like 7 minutes of walking around and failing at puzzles is very strange.
Mission. Just do a mission.
What's happening?
Exactly.
What are these things? What is going on? What are the areas going to be? Just do a proper fucking trailer.
We needed a trailer introduced, because these characters without a trailer to show, these characters look extremely generic. Like who you're fighting against, it's just a bunch of silver metal balls just floating around. It's okay.
I will also defend, because I've been playing a bunch of old Sonic games. A lot of Sonic games just have that. A lot of Sonic games are like, it's a ball with one spot.
What are these puzzles? What are these statues? Right. What does all this mean? Why am I scanning the thing in the area? What is running on the track with the little scan thing? What does that do? What is going on? Who am I? Why am I here? How did I get here?
Well, you think Sonic Team has those answers for you?
Did you
I
see
think Naked HD XYZ Tinder overpriced shit. Try us 18+ has the answers.
Did you see what the Sega Sammy CEO said about this game?
No.
They said, we have set internal targets as the correlation between the scores of external evaluation organizations and sales is high in Europe and North America. If the game gets a high score, as in Metacritic, it can become a must-buy game and possibly generate synergy with sales. So we are currently working hard to improve the quality of the game toward its sales for the holiday season. They are looking for high review scores.
It can still be good. Like, listen, I still think this game can be good, but
they're sending out lots of emails right now about it. I've done 2 surveys on it from Sega. What is it called?
I question if this game's coming out this holiday now.
I think it needs to be delayed.
I think it's going to get delayed.
Again.
I've seen some people saying that there's parts of it that seem very undone, and not even that they're still in the oven. This is clearly what seems to be the final build of the game, or close to it. But there's things like when Sonic flips from rail to rail, people noticed he always does a left side flip. So even if you're jumping to the right rail, his like animations glitch out a lot. So there's a lot of stuff in there that just seems incomplete or undone, and they just don't care.
I kind of feel like this game looked different and then they just restarted midway through. I don't know. This is weird. This whole thing just doesn't add up.
Even if you look at the initial CGI trailer, like it feels very different than how the game.
Well, they showed that they actually showed that part in the gameplay where he's running through a forest, and that move that he does in the initial CGI trailer, it's the move where he does where you do a circle. Around something, and they did try to show the correlation between that initial CG trailer and some of the gameplay, because he is running through a forest, and they did show that move in the combat and also solving puzzles and stuff. So
I have a breaking update coming to us from RE4. Also, this build is an earlier build. On June 3rd, when Sonic is on a cliff, there is a new model, and we have footage coming on Tuesday and trailer on Thursday. Same with Breath of the Wild first reveal. 10 out of 10
Now,
confirmed.
Guys, this game. Just to chat. You have to just assume at this point that this is final stuff. The game is coming out in a couple months. At this point, hoping that it gets more polished. It's going to get a tiny bit, but at this point, you're looking at pretty much the final product.
Where's the chows?
I know, right?
MVG a question. MVG.
I mean,
What
do people really think Sega chose to show this abysmal footage as what, some sort of trick, smoke and mirrors, where they're going to show
maybe
us
it's
again?
It'd be brilliant if they did.
Say, look at that, what we showed you was terrible, but here's the actual good-looking quality footage
this
that
is
we're
Worked for the
hiding from
Sonic
you.
the Hedgehog movie.
Maybe this is the Silent Hill reveal.
MVG, do you think this is MVG? How far away of a build do you think this is, based on your experience?
Ooh.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, if it's only 3 months away, then this is going to probably need to get submitted for certification soon. I mean, I feel like this is like, if it's not the final build, it's going to be like the last batch of final build. So yeah, this is pretty close, right? If it indeed is coming out this year. So yeah, that's a little concerning.
You know what?
They should definitely delay the game. Like take a leaf out of Halo Infinite's book, right?
Yeah.
Obviously the reaction to that was very negative, very much the same as what we're seeing here. Just take another year and get the game polished up. I think they're onto something with this game, and I think it could be a really good game, but they probably just need more time. Like, you can't release a game if this is indeed the final kind of stuff we're going to see before the game comes out. Then yeah, it's going to be an absolute mess, and they should take some more time.
No, this is a game where Sega wanted to make Breath of the Wild for Sonic, but they don't understand what made Breath of the Wild Breath of the Wild. They just went there with the Ubisoft formula. They're like, let's add a tower. Let's make this huge open world, add random elements from previous Sonic games, and hope for the best. There's nothing that they've shown to this point that shows any competent game design. This is another situation where Sonic Team doesn't know what to do with the Sonic franchise, and instead of just making a new Sonic Mania, they spit out this horrendous 3D attempt that took them 5 years to make. It's going to get a Metacritic score of 45.
Oh no, it can't be less than Sonic Forces.
There's no way it's going to be a 45.
Forces was good.
You know what?
I'm sorry, guys.
Wasn't bad.
We're just assuming that this big open world Sonic game is going to work.
Right. Well, I've been following a bunch of people from Sonic Twitter on Twitter, like one of my buddies, Sam's Procrastination Station. He's a Sonic only YouTuber. He does like reviews of the anime and the games and stuff. And he's been very sad about the Sonic Frontiers trailer. And one of the tweets he did the other day that blew up is he said, look, as a Sonic fan, I don't want to wait another 5 years if this game sucks. I want Frontiers to be good because this is the only 3D Sonic we get for 5 years.
You know what, Max? Now you're saying that, I thought about this morning, about how everyone's treating Sonic Frontiers, kind of myself too, because like everyone's looking at this like, oh man, is that like that's Sonic? Like, I don't want to be too hard on it. This morning, kids run around doing Socceroos, which is like nothing's actually getting done. But you're like, yeah, good job. I kind of feel like that when I'm looking at this Sonic trailer. I'm like, shit, yeah, okay.
I've spoken to a few devs. Some of them do AAA, and all of them just say this is not in a good state.
I feel bad. Like I'm looking at this Sonic, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is where we are with it.
Like when you see your kid on at soccer practice, man, my daughter was terrible at it, but I was like, it's all good, baby. You're gonna do great.
I feel like a lot of us just look at this and we're like, oh,
like because everything about it just looks like a proof of concept.
I know, but we want it to be good. We want a good 3D Sonic game. So
but if they wanted it to be good, look at the art style of Frontiers. There's nothing in this that screams Sonic.
No, it's
for this realistic world setting. Instead of going that colorful, creative Sonic aesthetic that we would probably like. It looks like they took the Phantasy Star Online engine, took Phantasy Star Online 2, took out the main character, put Sonic in his place, and said, yes, let's make a game based on this.
I mean, I like Sonic games a lot, and I think y'all can agree that a lot of times, sometimes it feels like this last 10 years, they get good ideas, and they don't know how to carry them out. Because the idea of Sonic Forces was fantastic of having retro Sonic team up with modern Sonic, team up with a custom character. So it's you being with Sonic and maybe you kiss a little bit and then like going on this big adventure. And that was such a great idea, but the game sucked.
Maybe the trailer they released on Tuesday is that this was all a dream from Sonic and like the real game is. I'm trying. I'm trying to figure something out here. Okay?
You're in that Sonic cycle where it's
The cope.
Hashtag delay Sonic.
It can't be that bad. It'll get better. It's trash.
That's
and then
where
the next one's
Sean is,
announced,
too.
it's okay. It'll get better, and you just keep going that
The
circle.
Sonic cycle is in full
I'm
effect.
trying.
We'll see. It's the start of the Sonic cycle is here. We'll see if it's completed once the game launches. You know, we'll see. We'll see.
There's probably better Sonic games that were made in dreams, honestly, that are out there.
Man. They need to. I don't even know.
I
what
would
they do
agree.
now. This is
No, for
They've
real.
actually shown really good Sonic games created in dreams that captured
Roblox.
the essence of what makes Sonic Sonic, and Frontiers has none of that.
Look,
And
Google.
Birdman, if your comment was trying to be an insult, you failed horrendously at it, because calling me the Helen Keller of video games, considering Helen Keller was an inspiration to a lot was people, if that meant as an insult, you suck at it.
Why?
I think she
You
was
are the
also
Donald Trump of commentators.
Damn.
I do. There was a I think Sega acknowledged it. Sega invited the guy who made it, but somebody made a fan game on Roblox. I think you pay like $5 for it. It's called Sonic Speed Simulator, and it's a big open world, super bright, colorful Sonic game. And Sega has like given their green light that it's cool for this guy to make money off it, and it looks infinitely better than Frontiers.
I don't know. I don't know what they do here. What's the?
I'm looking at this Sonic Dreams game. I don't know if it.
What do you think, Sean? What do you think that the trailer on Tuesday? What does that show to save it for you?
A coherent game.
Good.
Like, more than just a grass area. Tell me what the game is about. Tell me what I'm doing in the game. Tell me who the main villain is, and then show me areas. Show me areas. Show me why I'm doing these things. Basic stuff that a trailer should do for a video game. It's not like a movie trailer where you want to keep suspense. You want to have a general idea of what the game is going into it.
It's Sonic.
Wait, I take back what I said. One of these games made in Dreams actually looks really good.
Dude, I wasn't kidding. Like, there's some really great stuff in Dreams for Sonic.
The first one that I saw looked, but the second one, Game Explained did a video. The second one actually looks. The world looks. It actually kind of looks better than Frontiers because it's more of that Sonic aesthetic.
We need like an ice level, right, Sean? Ice world. We need a lava world. I'm trying to think of like things that could add color to this, like
casino,
like
chemical plant.
There we go.
Chemical plant.
Casino. I 100% agree, Casino, because I think that the biggest criticisms I've seen non-Sonic fans saying about the trailer is that it just looks so bland and colorless.
Yes. Immediately, the first thing they should do with this next trailer, it has to just be a different part of the world. Like it has to be something different. Like it cannot be Unreal Engine Asset Flip 2. It has to be like Casino or any of the chemical plant. That I think is the best route to go here. Unfortunately, I feel like all of these trailers are already done and they're just dropping them every week, and it's probably still going to be the same area.
Imagine.
Oh no! Wait until they try to do story. Oh man,
They'll do the whole story.
This is gonna go sideways. Oh great.
I was the one that hated Sonic.
It's gonna somehow get worse. Sonic's gonna be like, I gotta run fast enough to stop 9/11.
What do you think of this, Jordan? What do you think of this Sonic Frontiers?
He's a big Sonic fan.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jordan.
I'll give it to him. Let's let him do something different. If it lands, it lands. If it doesn't, oh well. It's like most Sonic games, unfortunately.
This might cost Sega a lot of money, though.
Yeah, well,
this might hurt them.
Maybe they'll learn. Maybe they'll.
I feel like they won't, because something called a Sonic cycle exists.
I need to hire me. I'll fix everything.
See, there we go. Sean will
There
fix
hasn't been they're talking about the review scores, right? The
gosh.
Sonic game to get 3D Sonic game to get an 80 or above was Sonic Racing, like the All Stars Transformed Racing. That was the
Which doesn't even really count.
The Sonic Generations, even that didn't have a 80 plus.
Damn. I love Generations.
That's a good game,
one
though.
to make this game actually great with positive reviews and everyone on board.
Sonic Adventure 3, make it.
No, but yes, but Chow Garden. That's it. I'm telling you, you put a
That'd come
child
with
heart
Sonic
in there,
Adventure 3 probably.
Yeah, that would come
Yeah.
with Sonic.
Yeah.
That'd be like a side thing. Right?
That'd be good though. That'd be
so
cool.
Just make that. Make Sonic Adventure 3. It's right there.
Back in 2001, Sonic Adventure 2 released. What a time
Or
that
just
was.
HD remake that.
Man, the hype though when it was shown off at E3 in
Oh my
2000 was ridiculous. He had a snowboard and he was going down cement. It was crazy.
Dude,
But now it's like
I remember playing those games. I talked about this on the Spawncast pre-stream. I remember playing or pre-show. I remember playing those games back in the day and loving them, and then playing them on my PS3 and said these games suck. So I mean, Sonic Adventure 1 and 2.
love them, man.
And I don't know. I don't know.
Stop that.
I
love
remember
them.
just saying I hate the controls are just terrible. So if they did Sonic Adventure maybe 1 and 2, they remastered those games. I think that might be a good start, right? Maybe remastering them and making the controls a bit better.
that killer whale scene was legendary from the first one.
Dude.
They're good. The one
It's
thing that does suck that age bad, they have these fixed camera angles at times where it wants you to run, and if you accidentally disobey the game, it just pretty much kills you.
The camera,
Yeah,
and
the
cameras,
camera's
the
the real
controls
main
for me were
problem.
off. But I love the games originally. I loved them on the Dreamcast. I played that. I beat both of them on the Dreamcast back in the day.
They should
about
remake
Shadow of the
the
Hedgehog?
You were a Dreamcast.
Shadow the
guy back
Hedgehog.
then?
Yeah, Shadow the Hedgehog 2. Why not? Why's it always got to be about Sonic?
I don't know. At this point, they could try to wipe that character out too. Why not?
I got a Dreamcast for Christmas back in 2001. I freaking loved it.
Same. Yeah, or my one.
That was around the time that all the games started going to like $10 too.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
cheap. That's why I got one.
Awesome.
I own every Dreamcast game, and people forget that for a while there. I remember at GameStop years after the Dreamcast failed, they had a thing. It was 5 games for $10, and it's just Dreamcast games, and I literally just pulled out every game I didn't own.
Well, there you go. Sonic Frontiers. Here's hoping for better trailers this week, right, Sean? Better trailers?
Maybe. Probably
I'm
not.
hoping. I got hope that the game will be somewhat okay. Better than Forces. How about that? Let's just start better than Forces.
You know what? Let's just go ahead and pull it up now. Sonic Forces. What is that at? Right. What's the highest score that has across the different consoles? Is it like a
60?
10.
50, 60?
Sonic Forces? We'll go by on the Xbox One. It has a 62. On the PlayStation 4, it has a 57.
I think I gave that a 3 out of 10 when I reviewed it.
How many reviews does it have? It's 12 on the Xbox One. It has I think many more on the PS4. Let me see.
PlayStation has the most. Because that's the review.
That is 46 on PS4. Yeah, so we'll go with that. If it can score higher than a 57, technically it's a success for Sega, I guess. So there you go. Hopefully it's not less than a 57. How confident are we feeling right now?
I think it'll be above a 57. I think it'll be 60s or low 70 if they can get things straightened out.
The premise should put it there, I assume. A big open world, like, oh boy.
If it gets a 70, that's a dub for them. If it's in the 70s, that's for 3D Sonic, that's a dub.
Yeah. Evan, we got Discord questions over there.
While there are a lot of people who don't like The Last of Us Part 2 for legitimate reasons, some people hate it just because Joel plays golf. Do you think if Naughty Dog told you this happened a year before the game's release, that hate for it would have died down during the release?
No.
I mean,
because everyone thinks Joel was some kind of hero when he was a asshole dipshit.
I think the problem is if the game released without no leaks, if it just came out and the events happened as they happened, sure, you'd have divisive, takes on that, but it wouldn't have been as major as if the game didn't leak a month or so ahead of time without context that confused everyone and became truth. So I think it became a bigger thing because of it leaking. If it didn't, I still think there'd be that big divide, but it wouldn't have been as vocal and as audible as it was.
They didn't do their due diligence, though, in my opinion. They should have made a smaller DLC game showing the douchey things that Joel, maybe you get to play, and showing Abby and some of the stuff there with her. I think if they had like a smaller expansion DLC and showed some of that, it would have made what happened. Because if you've played The Last of Us Part 1, Joel has his reasons for certain things, and maybe but Abby just comes out of nowhere. And I think that was just one of she's just busts out of nowhere. And it's just like this thing, this force of nature in this game. And everyone's like, how did she come from? Like what's going on?
Well, if the story was rearranged with the same exact story, if it was just rearranged in how you played as who and how it was told, I think it would have been received a bit different. Honestly, I just think the game was put in the wrong order as you played it.
Well, and it felt like almost cheap shock in a way, because I did a full master file of Last of Us Part 1 right before Last of Us Part 2 came out. And so going straight from playing Joel and seeing his violence, I knew, okay, Joel has to die. I understood, like, this is a violent guy. He's not going to get to enjoy retirement. He has to die. I understand it. But there's some random person torturing him to death with a golf club. I was like, this feels too much. This feels like celebratory.
How people saw Joel, though, they didn't show him doing all this bad. They referenced it.
Yeah.
But I don't recall you doing anything necessarily bad with Joel.
The drug smuggling and stuff at the start, like they pretty heavily and explicitly say that everything he did before he met Ellie was pretty horrible. Like he did 20 years of bad stuff.
But they didn't show any of it.
Yeah.
All they showed was him caring for this girl and what happened to him, with his own family, which was emotional. Remember that first scene? That's emotional. So you see all this, you see all this good stuff, and then this happens here. I mean, the from what I've seen, people how they saw Joel as a lot of people saw Joel as a good guy.
If you played the end of the first game, he's not really a good guy.
Perception though, that's what the perception is. What people see of him.
What he did was for one reason, but at the grander scope, it was not.
You know why he did it? He did it because it's The Last of Us. We have to save The Last of Us.
I just thought it was stupid how the whole game was built around revenge, and then there was no revenge given.
Yeah, I know that was revenge. I know that was the point, but yeah, I'll be honest. At the very end, not killing Abby, I was like,
let's go.
After getting multiple.
Evan, you got another Discord question, Evan?
With Indiana Jones,
elongate the game by giving you more chances to do it.
With Indiana Jones 5 slated for 2023 release, is it possible that the indie game Machine Games is working on would share the release window with the movie?
That's a good question.
Could be.
I think there's a good chance we're getting that indie game next year. Around the release, I would say
that would make sense,
May.
right?
I'm gonna think May we get it.
Y'all see the rumor?
Oh wow, they'd have to show it. They'd have to show it in the showcase then soon.
Which they might.
I think we'll be surprised. I think it's coming. I mean, it's the perfect time to. Why not?
Okay. I'm curious how Machine Games tackles that. That'd be.
One of the rumors is that they want that I have no idea if this is true, but I've heard this going around that the Indiana Jones game is going to be first person.
Oh, I don't know. I feel like that has to be third person.
There's no way that would work. No way.
Pretty weird.
That'd be like Breakdown from the Xbox. I don't know. That'd be weird.
The idea of grapple hooking and stuff or whatever.
And, like get your whip and like you're swinging. Like I don't know. That'd look really strange. Very
disorienting. They can get it done, but
that's what people said about Metroid going first person.
That's true. That's true.
Well, and Machine Games rocks. I mean, the Wolfenstein games are masterpieces, but still, I want to see Indy's hat.
The hat.
Yeah, you got another question, Evan?
What are the chances of GoldenEye Remake showing up in the Xbox showcase?
I feel like 100%. It's going to be there because we keep seeing stuff pop up around achievements for it, but it could just be a random tweet or something. I don't know. That's a big deal though, right? Like if GoldenEye shows up, don't you feel like they'd want to save that as like an impactful announcement? And that would come out this year, wouldn't it?
I think they're going to shadow.
I think there's a better chance of Silent Hill showing up at an event this year than GoldenEye on Sunday.
Wow. Okay. You got another one, Evan?
We got a guy asking a question to MBG. He says, I live in Australia and have my limited run game's physical version of Quake. Are you still waiting for yours?
Yes, I am. I don't know. Yes, I am still waiting for mine.
Oh.
I don't know what's going to come first, the Steam Deck or the Quake. We'll see.
You already got your confirmation for the Steam Deck, right?
I got it. I paid for it, but I'm waiting for it.
It takes 3 days usually, not even.
Well, hopefully I'll have it next week.
It was quick.
Didn't you get a shipping notification for Quake like 3 weeks ago?
Dude, it was like I swear it was like 6 weeks ago.
You might want to check in on that.
I mean,
you know what's gonna be really funny? When I go to Too Many Games and Limited Runs there, and I walk up and they just sell me a Quake over the counter.
Probably.
If they have it there, I will buy one. I'll take a picture and send it to you on Twitter.
Thank you.
That's
Screw
bullying.
that. I would look at Doug and say, "What the fuck, man? It's taking so long."
Ev says, you think the copyright lawsuit affected the changes to RE4?
I don't think
maybe.
so, really.
No way.
That was just textures mostly, right?
Yeah.
Just art
There's
after.
textures, and I think they just paid the guy, right? I think they were just like whoopsie doopsie, and they paid the dude for 20 years ago.
Yeah, that would have been more for the original version. I don't think Capcom was looking to reuse those textures in the remake.
Yoda says Sony couldn't handle the Yu-Gi-Oh community.
I mean, that's
What?
the Yu-Gi-Oh metaverse. Better than
What?
Jeremy says the Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 1 has some of the best physics and two-handed interaction with weapons out of any VR game, better than Resident Evil 4.
Oh, does it?
Sean's the VR guy. He'll get on it.
I'm a VR guy.
Christopher says, if you could order any food item or meal from a video game, what would you get?
The things that they cook around the campfire in Final Fantasy 15. Ignis does that like I made a new recipe, and he makes the most delicious looking ramen ever.
That
I don't
food
know.
looks so good.
I like walking into those convenience stores in like Judgment and Yakuza and just getting the meal. That's pretty cool stuff.
Tyler says, Rule of Two review would be a great guest for the podcast. Rob's been on before.
He's been on.
We can have him on again. Oh, yeah. I wanted to have him on whenever we get some Metroid stuff to talk about. Big Metroid fan. It'd be cool to get him on for that. So I'll keep him in mind though when we finally get something Metroid related. Steve says, "Oh, this is seems like a Jordan thing here." I'm gonna try to pronounce Jordan. How do you pronounce the legendaries from the new Pokemon game? I'm looking at it right now. I have it in my mind. I'm about to say it, and it's probably gonna be completely wrong.
Go for it.
Koraidon and Miraidon.
Mm-hmm.
Sure, let's go with that.
Hell yeah.
From Scarlet and Violet. So which one?
Well, I think the latter, which is for Violet.
Violet. Yeah, the one on Violet.
The futuristic one. Yeah.
Yep. That one. Yes. Yes. That's one. Yeah. And then Ugly Chest Saw versus Sleek and Cool. Easy choice. First time grass starter. What starter is everyone going with?
Fire.
I might go with the grass
fire,
starter for the first time.
I think I'm going fire.
The little crocodile.
I'm gonna
Right?
have to choose Sprigatito. I don't know why.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Coco is definitely a.
What do you think about that trailer anyway, Jordan? We can stop for a second and talk about Pokemon before we finish up the Strikers. What do you think about these Pokemon trailers, the versions?
Wait a second. How did Strikers get precedent over Pokemon?
Fuck Strikers.
Because we played Strikers.
I didn't play it.
You
That's
drank a
because you
bottle
drank
of
a
wine.
bottle of Paul
We set it
Masson
up.
wine.
I was like, hey, 11 o'clock, they're doing this. All right.
Yeah, Sean at 6 o'clock. Yeah, that sounds great.
OJ was already streaming. He's already on it. Like he was gonna do it. But I'm like, hey, let's remind people. Yeah, we got Mario. Okay. Anyway, that's why, because we actually played it. Go on.
I feel like there's more to talk about with Pokemon though.
Pokemon looks good. You know, I'm excited for it. I think there's some cool aspects with this one that you can tackle the game essentially any way you want in an open world setting. I like that there's some sort of co-op ability to just go out and on adventures with friends. I think, you know, there's going to be some cool surprises. We don't know what the new gimmick is. They didn't show off this generation's new gimmick in the trailer, which I was surprised we didn't see anything like.
Is it possible the new gimmick could have to do with the open-endedness of the game, Jordan? Because they mentioned that you'll be able to, in the press release, you'll be able to tackle these different parts of the game in whatever order you want.
It's possible, but usually there's some sort of battling mechanic. There's some sort of new thing that's put into the game every time. And, you know, whatever that may be, I guess we'll see, because it definitely has a blend of a traditional, you know, battling Pokemon game, but it also mixes a little bit of the Legend style where it's open and there's Pokemon everywhere. And I do like where it's trying to go. I can't wait to see more information. I like the new Pokemon that they showed off. Lechonk has become the internet's favorite thing.
Yeah, that thing's gonna evolve and everyone's just gonna hate it then.
I like the duality that they're going for between the games, you know, ancient, you know, handcrafted sort of feel versus the futuristic, you know, clean look. So I think there's gonna be some cool stuff.
Significantly better legendaries than what we had in Sword and Shield.
Yeah, it's another one where they're like, oh, they're both this exact kind of thing, but there's a bigger difference between them, which is nice, and they're both alluding to being motorcycles. So I don't know what's going on, but I'm excited.
They're motorcycles.
I want to know, yeah, like the big kind of like wheel in the chest, and then the Violet has like a seat on its back.
You'll be able to drive them around. Is that what you're telling me?
Maybe there's the Pokemon centers look like gas stations. So
oh my god,
possibility that there's something going on there. Yeah, there's still a lot more to be seen from it. I think there's some cool stuff. I want to know what that random tease was after the trailer, where there's like this diamond looking thing moving in the background and a Pokeball flies by. Like it's obviously teasing something. but literally alluded to nothing that we could think of. So yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. I'm excited. Got some new Pokemon that we'll get to play later this year, November 18th.
Yo, John, you know what I thought was really cool with it? I mean, is the fact that you can have open world, just do what you want, and then also your friends can come in there and play too. And it doesn't matter. You can just play the game. I thought that's I thought that was the gimmick. The gimmick is you can just tackle anything in any order and just play. So that's what I mean, but I'm pretty sure there's another battle gimmick or something like that. But I feel that's really going to change things up. The online co-op.
Does that mean that you could have a friend who's incredibly overpowered come in and just run you through the game in like an hour?
Probably.
I don't know if the game actually. I think the game might track what you've already done in.
Okay.
I don't know if it goes towards somebody's personal thought and you only play off theirs. I think that if you've already beaten somewhere, that's done for you, and it lets the person who wants to play on there. That's what I think. I'm not sure exactly how they're going to tackle it, but I think it's going to be really cool because that's what I've always wanted, to be able to do something like that. Yes. And now we have that. And I've never liked the really structured way of Pokemon. That's why, I mean, Legends has a lot of structure in it as well, but it gave you a bit more freedom that we've seen before. Mm-hmm. So I like the fact that this is just completely open and you can just kind of do it in your order in terms of what you want to do. So that's exciting. And they have some aspects of Legends too, because you can sneak around, but they don't do the Pokeball things, but you can still sneak around. So maybe you can get a first strike on a Pokemon.
Yeah, maybe first strike.
Some surprise, on them or something like that. So that's cool.
Dude, hell yeah.
Yeah.
Co-op anything, man. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to after doing Brilliant Diamond and then Arceus. I'm kind of back in a little bit with Pokemon. I still don't understand half the names of the Pokemon, but I'm getting there again. I'm still with the OG 151, 250. Okay, I'm right in there.
We're almost at 1,000, so just.
Oh, good. That's not too many or anything.
I don't even know all the names, man. I'm telling you, I don't even know all the names for anything like past Gen 4.
I stopped tracking, and when they start looking like furniture, I was like, nah.
Right.
Past Gen 4, I don't know the names of the Pokemon. Oh, at Gen 5, I do know X and Y. I kind of do.
So now you're up to
no, that's Gen 6.
You think they would ever consider remaking X and Y for a newer Nintendo platform?
I think that would be cool. Or Black and White. Black and White would be
good. Remake would be Black and White for a traditional remake sense.
Actually, I was okay with Brilliant Diamond. I was fine with that game. It was what it was. It took 20 hours. I spent 20 hours with it and moved on. That was fine.
Black and White would be interesting because if they're going to remake that, they really just gotta mix together Black and White 1 and Black.
I was going to ask you if they would just mix both of them together
and just flesh out the full story, because that's probably the most story-based Pokemon game. There's a lot of text, a lot of story and lore, so it's very dense. So I want to see them just make the ultimate version of it.
Hold on to those DS cartridges, though, man. Those things are.
Yeah.
Well, still
Black and White 1 and Black and White 2.
This one's from Ryan saying, "Think Ape Escape will ever get a new game / remake?"
Yeah.
Nope.
No.
Maybe it gets the medieval treatment.
Nope.
No.
Almost getting a new game, and they got shut down.
Hell Knight says, "Wish Sega would just stick with 2D Sonic. 3D open world games got too boring thanks to Ubisoft. And again, Sega did. Oh, looked at Sonic 06, said amazing." Cristobal says, "I don't like cats, but wanted to play and buy Stray. Thank you, PS Plus Extra. I hope we get release updates on Metal Slug Tactics and Shredder's Revenge. Shredder's Revenge might be coming sooner than we thought. It's possible."
Sean, would you play a game called Equine?
No, for money, sure, but not free.
For money,
$5.
No.
Like you just walk around like a stable, solve puzzles.
Game says next state of play is God of War, Last of Us 2 Factions, Last of Us 1 Remake, and that in VR. I think that Last of Us Remake is supposed to be coming out. Maybe that's what's at Summer Games Fest. Maybe they just announced that there.
I'd be big.
Sony's doing something there.
Dude, I still think the amount of conversation around the Last of Us remake, I think that thing's going to have a bunch of people saying this is unneeded, and it's going to sell like 20 million copies.
Oh, yeah, people are, especially if they have some sort of multiplayer attached to it. I guess that's just going to sell. Steve says 2023 horror renaissance. Callisto looks amazing. Seems like it so far. And then we have Old Taco says, hopefully the remake still has the lake shooting fish death, so I could tell people to go fishing.
Yeah, that's got to be in there.
Oh, they showed one little scene of it, one little clip of Leon in the boat.
Well, they specifically meant the great thing where if you shoot the water 10 times, Dalago eats the dock and kills you.
Okay, the achievement that you get in there.
Oh, that's an achievement?
Sean, an achievement.
Is this the song you're talking about here, Sean, in the chat?
Yeah.
You're singing
no, that's a different song. I'm talking about Winger 17.
It says she was only 17. Rick James, the god with the highly problematic song. That's not the one you're talking about?
No, that's a different song. I don't know what.
I have no part of this discussion, guys. So I'm just saying. Right. I just want to make
sure. We're just talking about songs.
No,
I disavow. I disavow.
I don't have anything to do with
Take it up with the artist, not me. I don't want to hear nothing.
Yum says we need Gordon Ramsay here to teach RGT to cook. Dude, that would be an amazing YouTube video. If we
I would tell him to shut the fuck up and get out of my house.
Dude, it would end in a fist fight. It'd be great.
Would you fight Lydia though? She'll take the wooden spoon, and you don't know who Lydia is.
Beetlejuice?
Oh, she's the old Italian woman. She's on like PBS.
Beetlejuice.
It's called like Lydia's Kitchen. She will beat the hell out of you with a wooden spoon if you talk up to her. You know it's true.
Rare says the footage on June 1st was recorded on May 11th. Given that the release is December, that is 7 months to polish animations and pop-ins. Yep. Also, they said we're getting info all month. That's why we're getting a lot of footage. We'll see.
Those are fun excuses.
Massive says, hi, John. Inspired by that game or Platinum GameCube, but recently I got one myself. Wondering if an HDMI mod or a RetroTink 5X Pro is the way to go. Looking to get a Dreamcast next. I think RetroTink is pretty nice. And it works
versatile
across a bunch of platforms. I mean, the HDMI, either whatever you get for the GameCube, because they have a couple of them now through that digital port, it looks nice, and you can just leave it attached at all times. But that RetroTink does look pretty good. So I don't think you can go wrong either way. But if you want a bunch of systems lined up, go with RetroTink. Rare says, also, this build is an earlier build on June 3rd when Sonic is on a cliff. There is a new model, and we have footage coming up on Tuesday and trailer on Thursday. Same with Breath of the Wild First Real. You mentioned that, Sean. Rabbit said a couple weeks ago, RGT lost his mind and mentioned how he's not an adult film star yet. How would the Spawncast support him in his new career? Who would be the cameraman? Who would be his agent, co-star, number one fan, writer? They basically want us to just figure out Sean's career right now.
Yeah, my agent's gonna be Nate.
I'll edit. I'm really good at color correcting, so I can make your weird colored balls look a little more appropriate.
See, As his agent, I do not accept that.
I was gonna go with Evan.
What?
To be the editor.
Oh man.
He's like, no thanks.
MVG makes the video game. I mean, there's a lot of moving pieces.
Game. Hold on.
Yeah, why not?
Leisure Suit Sean.
It's called Sleazer
Suit. That is a good idea. Leisure Suit. Yeah.
We do Eat 'em and Beat 'em too.
Yeah. It's just called 50-50 though.
Yeah.
Studio
2023 won't know what hit it. Wow. Bear says also the game is given a December release date. 7 months is enough to polish animation. Probably have all these reveals because we're getting info all month. It's an older build. I'm hyped. Okay. Thank you. You saying if Sonic meows in the next trailer, then Sega won.
Sonic fans, I hope it's an older build. It was 2 months and now.
I really do hope that there is. I really hope there's like a big twist or something. I don't know. I'm hopeful.
I can't be the newest one.
Yeah, they need that game to be good. This is all they have going on in life.
B2 says, good to see MVG back and the rest of the cast. What do you think about The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons and Oracle of Ages remake on Switch? Also, anyone tried PS3 emulation on Steam Deck? I did try PS3 emulation on Steam Deck, and it runs okay-ish, but I feel like MVG is going to really do a deep dive on it. So
yeah, I'm going to try it out next week, and I would love to see the Oracle's games on Switch.
I have started to rip a lot of my PS3 games, though, now, so I have a nice little, 400 gigabyte folder sitting on the desktop.
Pirate Wave coming back strong.
No, I own all the games. They're over there.
Yeah, sure you do.
I put them in here, and it rips to my computer. Oracle Ages and Seasons, though, I would love to see that, but I think we're gonna get Wind Waker, Twilight Princess, if anything.
I've actually been playing Oracle of Ages for the first time recently because I've never beat it. These games are freaking amazing.
Very good.
They're very good games.
If these come back, they are gonna sell.
Yeah, definitely. That'd be awesome. Birdman says, Nate, we love you. Got to give you crap time to time.
Oh.
B2 says Katana Zero was announced for Switch physically and limited run event summer 2020, and it's yet to be up for pre-order on their site. Waiting for this one.
That sounds about right for LRG.
Stop putting pictures of Sonic getting his feet tickled in the chat, please. My God.
He says, who's excited for Gundam Battle Alliance? I actually had talked about that in a video, and I'm interested in it. It's like this action RPG style Gundam game where they go through the different generations. Been waiting on a game on Switch like this for some time. Daemon X Machina was okay, but not quite enough.
Pregnant Sonic.
Let's talk a bit about. Let's talk a bit. Also, Rabbit says, could you imagine limited run of RGC's game? Definitely AO.
Hey, we got to break the mold. I'm tired of all these M-rated games. What's the point of having a rating if no one's gonna fucking use it? Use rating.
Someone. I don't even know who uses that now. Like someone's probably used it. We just don't know about it because it never gets posted on
Console. You good over there?
Let's talk about Mario Strikers as our last topic here. We still have Discord questions left.
Still got a bit, yeah.
Okay, let's talk about Mario Strikers. I played it. Nate played it. OJ played it. Max, you played some of it.
I tried to boot it up, it wouldn't work for me.
Okay, Jordan, did you play it?
No.
Okay, Sean, you passed out with wine.
And bought Killer Instinct complete in box.
Okay, got it.
And I'm not even good at it.
How much?
When's the next? I gotta look at the schedule. When's the next run of it?
Like in about 10 minutes, or no, about 6 minutes.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so people can jump on then if they want.
I'm gonna
in
play
6 minutes. So anyone in the chat now, if you're kind of hanging out and you didn't realize it, if you have Mario Strikers downloaded on your Switch now, the first kick, you can play it in 6 minutes. There we go. Mario Strikers had the demo. Nate and I played on a team for like an hour, so we got a pretty good run of it, like playing with people. I saw OJ was playing on stream with some of his viewers. What do we think so far of Mario Strikers? It's very limited, by the way, because I think there's still quite a bit that we need the full game to see, obviously, especially for online. But this was just like, can you guys break our servers? Let's find out.
Yeah, I was playing. I like it. It gets crazy. Like all the items and everything on screen, like it gets really crazy, but the controls are good. There's a lot of good strategy with the different characters. There's a lot of good depth in trying to like curve your shots to kind of go where Boom Boom isn't. That's fun. It's just Mario Strikers game, but it's fun, man. The super chart hyper strike stuff is fun if you can get it off. And yeah, I enjoyed it quite a bit. Although it gets kind of like your markers. Sometimes I don't know where I'm at. I have to get used to my number constantly.
This was
changing.
the issue I was running into with this, and Nate too, because we were having a hard time here. We both jumped in the same room, and it was like you each could have 2 people to pick, basically, but you can then switch between any of the people. And there's always computer that controls the other 2, and they never know what to do. Like they're always like they'll stand in front of a person who's taking a shot and won't try to take the ball. They'll just stand there. Noticed it many times. Right now, you can only have 2 people in a room. I really hope that goes up to 4. Like, there's no way it's just 2 people.
Well, it has to be up to for like the battle leagues, right? It has to be 4 people per team.
It has to be. So I imagine this is just a very small piece of the game where they're like, look, you can have 2 people in. We're trying to get as many people on these servers to see if we can break the thing. That's like kind of where I am with it right now.
There's like 8 player, like between 2 Switch systems, you can do 8 players. So I'm guessing that once the full game comes, we should be able to do
because
that.
Nate and I noticed we would try to switch to different people, and I think sometimes we try to switch at the same time, and I would end up on a character not at all where I was trying to go. And I think that happened to Nate a few times. Although Nate was trying to be the hero a couple times here. Okay.
Well,
I'm cutting. I'm running free.
I'm watching you on defense, and you're going to check the player we're going up against going into their super strike, and what do? You miss by 5 feet, and we lose the game.
We did. I missed at the end. But the thing I don't get is they hit the super strike, right? And you have to hit a button. You basically mash a button. It's like a little mini game that happens with the goalie. You fill up the arrow, but the ball still goes in.
It's a chance. If you
okay.
Yeah, it's a percentage chance. You can get it or you can't. If you get it perfectly, like the perfect super strike, there's no shot. You know, there's no chance that they're gonna score no matter what. So if it even goes to that animation or whatever, it's because the person jacked up the hyper strike shot or whatever.
We had some pretty cool like combos there with the passing and all of this. If we had 4 people and we were able to communicate, because by the way, that's gonna be the biggest weakness of this game, is there is zero communication. Like,
oh no,
zilch.
I actually tested out the Nintendo Switch online voice chat app with my friend TH3 when I played.
I'm sorry. This is a game where if you're running that Battle League, you might as well just open up Discord.
It boots. If you have it, it says the room is available. Voice chat is available, and you can hop right in there. And we did it. We did. Discord's probably preferred though.
I mean,
this is a game that I cannot believe.
Voice chat, because you need to set up your strategies for the goals and the passing. Otherwise, I mean, we were just doing it blind, and we beat that first team like 7-0.
It was ugly. It was bad. Like they may have like thrown their Switch out after that. We can't guarantee it. It was bad. But there were times where I'm like talking to my monitor and I'm like, Nate can't hear me. I don't even know why I'm saying this right now. Where I'm just like, pass it, I'm cutting, and Nate's like, I'm gonna hero ball, okay, get out of the way. And then the tackled, embarrassingly, it was bad, right? Gets tackled and they take the ball and score on the other side. It was
Hey, I mean, I'm Bowser. I'm charging up the shot. I want to get a little power behind it, and he's just so damn slow in doing it.
Just pushes you over. It takes
like the whole other team comes over and checks him, and he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Shoot."
Meanwhile, I'm just over on like the other side. No one covering me, just like having a picnic.
Nate, you thought Nate got all Portuguese and thought he was Ronaldo and just started.
I had a couple hat tricks. Hat tricks though.
You hit some of the super strikes. I'll give you that. Some of those were pretty cool.
I got the super strikes. Most of the goals we were getting were usually ricochets off the goalie. We're doing the second shot rebound.
Yeah, because
we were doing a lot.
Except for that last game, I was just sitting in the corner, shooting into the lower corner, and boom, boom.
Yeah, I was working. I was crashing
that at all for some reason.
So I was trying to crash the goal when you were shooting, but like stuff like that's like, hey, I'm moving up. I'm gonna try to stand next to the goalie when you shoot. You know, things like pass it. The basic stuff is like, hey, I'm open over here, and you can hit a button, it'll highlight you. But even then, it's kind of almost late at that point. It'd be easier to be like, hey, I'm cutting. Think about passing the ball because I think I'm going to be open. That kind of stuff.
You have to anticipate.
I'm sending it back. Yeah,
because if you try to call it, be like, hey, I'm open, you're going to get checked by the opposing player, or you're going to get hit by a green shell. I mean, there's a lot going on.
Yes.
It almost felt as though the arenas were too small.
I noticed that too. I know. I thought about firing up the one on the GameCube over here just to check, but I think they are smaller.
It felt like that, but it could just be a placebo effect.
No, I heard some people saying that they are a bit small as well, and I think that I talked about that just a little bit, and I think that the problem is that if you get up or get a lead, people can just start. If the arenas were bigger, they can just start kind of like time you out or whatever, like with the fast characters. So I think they want to make it to where no lead is ever safe and you can get to anybody at any point. That's what I'm thinking with the smoke, because like I actually had somebody on Twitter say the same thing to me, but it's like you're never out of the game, like with the hyper strikes and with the arenas being so small, and if you have faster characters you can get to them, you can score quickly. I mean, I had so many games where with me and my friend where we were getting beat and it was like literally like 30 seconds left, and we came back, tied it up, and then won in like overtime.
Ready for the game to come out. Like I'm good to go. It's next Friday. It's gonna release. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. I think the controls are gonna be off-putting for people at first. It's gonna take some getting used to because there's a lot going on, and it's definitely more complicated than any of the other Mario Strikers games in terms of that. And I saw some people I know on Twitter who I thought would be excited for this were like, I don't know if this game's good or not. I can't tell. It's hard to play.
One thing that will probably help people is when you're playing, if you set it to auto instead of manual for the character switching, so it'll automatically switch you to the character you're passing the ball to if it isn't player controlled. That definitely helps because you get right back into that control. Whereas we were playing manual and we would have had to switch.
Yeah, I thought that was just you have more control over it. That's probably the better route to go.
Auto's the better.
Auto is a lot better because it's kind of like, you know what, I'm going to pass it here. I'm going to set that up for a shot, and you're just going to seamlessly go into that motion. Whereas we were like, shit, we have to hit the freaking L button and go over there, but all of a sudden it was sending us to a different character. Like,
I did notice though, when the computer had it, if I press pass or shot, it'll do it. So what I would do is I would lob pass it, and if you weren't controlling them and the computer was picking it up, I would then hit shot, and they would just immediately one time it.
There is going to be a skill gap.
Yeah, yeah.
There's going to be people that are just bad because they don't want to learn. There's going to be average, and there's going to be people that are really good, in these club leagues. So it's going to be interesting to see how the high level play with people that are passing the ball, doing the jump passes, doing like the anticipating shots and all that. I like the mechanics in depth personally, because I want to learn it. So I want to learn. I did that tutorial like 5 or 6 times just so I can kind of get all the different aspects. Like you can do like a charging tackle, you can cancel your tackles, you can roll cancel your tackles. Like it's pretty in depth.
Yeah, visually it looked fine to me when I was playing. The cutscenes for the super strikes I like the little art style they got going on there. It's good. The frame rate, I think, more or less linked to any lag that was taking place was the issue. Yeah, I think that was the problem. So these are set times that are trying to get as many people on as possible. I'm curious when the full release happens if it's better, because they're not trying to funnel everyone in a certain hour. But I guess we'll find out. That was a hour-long test. I thought it was good for what it was.
The foundation's there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and my biggest question is going to be how they build on this post-launch. If this is indeed something where we really are getting 10 characters that are not on that cartridge, just part of the online.
Of course you are.
Yeah, that's kind of unfortunate. I still play Mario Strikers on the GameCube. If there were characters in the game that were tied to the online, I probably would not be able to access them right now. So I don't know. That's unfortunate, but I guess we'll find out, because they'll probably announce the first downloadable character at the end of June.
There's only 2 characters you need: Peach and Rosa.
I was playing Toad. Toad was rolling. Toad was like circling around, man.
No, you need other people. I mean, obviously you need like the stronger characters, like for good defense.
I had Toad and DK, and they were putting in.
Toad and DK is a good mix because you got the defense right there. Then Toad is so fast; he can get to all the loose balls. He can get passing set up. He's not the best shooter, but he can get everything set up there. I use Peach for that. She's a little bit better on the shooting, but she's pretty fast. And then Rosalina is offensively, she might be the best in the game. Her shooting's very good, and she has a nice mix of stats, so I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, all the stuff that you said, John, absolutely agree with some of the issues and stuff like that too. I'm just excited to just get into the club play though. I want to really get into that.
Yep, that's gonna be fun. That's next Friday though. The game will be out, so I'm sure we'll be talking about it next week on the podcast, so everyone gets a chance to play it. Evan, you want to go through some of the Discord questions as we finish up here with some of the stuff we're on Streamlabs?
Yeah, we can try to belt through these. Does anyone still understand what Summer Games Fest is trying to be?
Nope.
No.
I think it's an E3 replacement, but he's not really calling it.
It's not though. It's nothing like E3.
To take credit for all the events.
Yeah, it's just just an online presentation of it's the Game Awards without awards.
Yeah, it's marketing umbrella. It's Jeff Keighley wants to put his name on stuff, and he thinks he can sell it better than the companies can.
I mean, he's been able to so far for E3. People seem more interested in his stuff than E3's. First for like the companies anyway. Apparently, it's more organized. I don't know.
Trying to get into Resident Evil. What's the best order to play the games?
Oh God!
Here we go. Here we go again.
4 months.
Just start with RE2.
5.
Just start with RE2.
I mean, it's almost like they're numbered.
Has your hype died down when it comes to Breath of the Wild 2 to the point you are concerned about the game?
No Arlo.
Sean naming names.
I'm not concerned.
He was the one who made a video about it.
I'd say I'm not hyped anymore, just because I haven't seen it in so long. Like when I see it, I'll be excited again. But at this point, I'm not sitting here waiting around.
We have a guy.
Just need a new trailer or something for it, and then they go, "Hey, it's coming out this time." And we're all like, "All right, road to Breath of the Wild 2. Here we go." I think that's kind of where it is. It's probably not a bad idea to put on the back burner in your mind now, anyway, just because then you won't. You're gonna expect it at every Nintendo Direct then, and when it's not there, you're gonna be like, "Oh, well, this was terrible." So it's like how Bayonetta 3, Kamiya was like, "Don't even think about it when you see it. Get excited then." So that's kind of where in Breath of the Wild 2. I feel like we've had enough people zoom in on the trailer and all this stuff to where it's like, all right, we'll just kind of hang out and wait for it.
People took what he said as the game was canceled. That was the funny thing. I was like, God, you guys are But whatever.
We have a guy on PC who unsubbed to Game Pass back in February and recently resubbed for Fallen Order. He's wondering if there's anything he should be looking at that maybe popped up on there since February.
For PC?
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of anything like really big. I mean, I feel like EA has dropped some of their EA Play stuff on there. I'm trying to think of anything really interesting on PC. What was the V Rising? Did that go on there?
No,
I don't think so.
They had a couple.
You're right. Vampire.
Yeah,
what was it called?
The Masquerade?
There were
No.
a couple of games that we went over, but I don't know. For PC side, I'm not sure.
Wait, didn't Ninja Gaiden just come out for it?
I mean,
on PC though.
For PC side, Ninja Gaiden, the Master Collection, the Sigma 1, 2, and 3. Those I know went on Xbox Game Pass. Usually I just look at the Xbox Game Pass side of things. The PC I'm not as familiar with for that, like what their library is, because I know it's somewhat limited. We should just get Evan a subscription to it so we can keep tabs on it.
I will not check it.
You're not gonna use that Windows Store, the Windows app.
I hate the Windows Store so much. We got a guy planning to build a new custom PC based around a 3080 Ti. He's wondering if there's going to be a best time to strike for purchasing one of those cards.
The cards 3080 Ti. When the 4000 series gets unveiled, I think you're going to start seeing 3080s get dumped all over eBay. You just got to figure out which ones aren't being used for mining.
Yeah, that's going to be the big trick. And then how long does it take to make a video, recording, editing, and uploading?
All day.
7 years.
A long time.
All day.
For me, if
Depends
it's a
what kind
news
of video
story,
it is.
for a news story, I can usually turn around in about an hour because my new computer renders so fast. I mean, we all have our spotlights set up, so a matter of like news breaks, it's like, here's what's happening, here's why you should care, edit together, upload it, Photoshop a thumbnail while it's uploading.
Yeah, just to edit Newswave takes between an hour and a half to 2 hours.
Yeah, and I spend most of the day writing it. So there you go.
No.
Most of my reviews take about 5 hours to edit. That's different.
There you go. Is that all of them, Evan?
Yep, we're good.
Okay. Let me go through a few of these are Streamlabs. I thought I saw some super chats pop up too. We'll do those during outros. Banana says, biggest surprise of the state of play for me was Stray. That's also known as Miss Click's game. Yeah, she says she's very excited for that one. Honestly, it looks better than I expected, but I'm for sure looking forward to RE4 and Street Fighter 6 as well. Bangers all around, to be honest. Oh, and wish you all good health. Thank you, Banana. Nero says, any recommendations for a PS3 controller that supports Rumble and 6-axis? Can't seem to find a non-broken DualShock 3. That is the challenge right now, because they're either fake on eBay, like counterfeit controllers, or they're all busted up or disgusting looking. Which there was a video I was thinking about doing the worst PlayStation controller. I still think it's that 6-axis controller.
Yeah, it's stupid.
This is from Prince saying, I thought of the PSVR 2 games they showed had 2020 release windows during the presentation. They did, but they can still not just come out on PSVR 2, as we talked about with that Walking Dead game that'll be on regular PSVR and then Oculus. So Fat Boy says, I've been waiting for a very, very long time for a Mega Man Battle Network collection on Switch. Will I die unhappy?
Probably.
Well, you probably won't die happy because there's a Mega Man Battle Network collection. Capcom. Mr. Stud Muffin says it's tough being a Sonic fan. And they also follow up saying Sonic Unleashed is a good game.
Hey,
There you go.
cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Sean, you want to let everyone know where they can find you?
You can find me on RGT85. There's lots of videos. Go watch them all. There'll be more videos this week. I'm probably going to bed after the show is over.
Wait, do you make videos?
I make video occasionally.
You got that Mario Strikers first kick on there, Sean?
No.
Oh,
I'm gonna buy the game anyways.
that's true. That's true. Hootis does say RGT porn would just be him screaming from different angles in wrinkly white tees. Just kidding.
I mean, it's not wrong.
Be like
Because I always wear a white T-shirt most of the time.
mostly be Blair Witch camera angles and shit.
Yeah.
Stand in the corner, bitch. It's the end of Blair Witch.
EA FIFA Street 2 is still better by a mile.
Then what?
Mario Strikers.
You meant then Strikers.
FIFA Street 2, yeah.
Can you play that online?
Nope.
I don't know. Was that around the time when PS2 had like their network
clubs?
online? I can't remember. Oh, I don't know clubs. Yeah. You get FIFA for that. Dill says, been watching you guys since 2019. It's my birthday today, and I just wanted to give back. Thank you for all the content. Happy birthday to Dill. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. Frame rate says, why is the Sonic Forces model being used? Those are the tough questions in life, aren't they?
The Sonic team.
High IQ says Street Fighter 6 looks hype. Much better than 5. OJ, where can everyone find you?
Me right here on YouTube, Player Essence. I've got a big Mario Strikers Battle League video. Played a lot of the first kick demo, so I'm sharing my thoughts on that. I actually just did my top 10 Nintendo Switch RPGs, the best one. This is something that people have been asking me to do. My channel deals with RPG stuff, so I got that on the channel. So if you guys want to watch it, got a lot of cool content doing next week as well. RPG stuff, gonna be looking at Final Fantasy as well, going in depth with that. So it's gonna be a lot of stuff. So if you enjoy RPGs, streams, I stream daily as well, and videos on RPGs. Check out the channel.
Matt Newey says, before you sign off tonight, anyone play Master Chief Collection anymore? I'm finding less games since Infinite came out. At least custom browser is there now. Now I've mostly just done Infinite here and there. I'll jump on a night and play a few rounds before I get off of it. Working through the battle pass as I go. That game just needs help. MVG, where can everyone find you?
Thanks for having me on. You can find me at Modern Vintage G on Twitter and on YouTube at Modern Vintage Gamer. I actually have a video coming out on Monday. I had a little bit of time to make one over the last few days, so check out the channel. Thanks for having me on.
Let me go to Jordan Fringe. Jordan Fringe, where can everyone find you?
Thanks for having me on. You can find me on the YouTube channel Jordan Fringe. We just hit 300,000 subs this week, so thank you very much for checking out and supporting the content. I appreciate it very much.
Go to Dreamcast Guy.
YouTube.com/Dreamcast Guy. I did a big video talking about the state of play. I'm actually very proud. I did a video breaking down all the 4K screenshots of Resident Evil 4, and that's been blowing up. So please, if you're into Resident Evil 4 and you just want to share some hype, it's basically just me gushing. Go watch that.
And we got Nate.
Yes, people can find me on YouTube at Nate the Hate. MVG and myself will likely have an Xbox predictions episode sometime this coming week. Probably nothing for Jeff's event. Probably just focus on
I have a wild card. Anything can be there, really. So
yeah, so it's not really that fun. Maybe we'll have some sort of reaction if Jeff brings some goods, which he more than likely is going to have a couple of very cool things at the event from what I'm hearing. One I'm really looking forward to.
Mysterious. Thank you.
Well, it's either going to be a Jeff thing or the Xbox thing. It's one or the other.
GoldenEye coming home. All right.
No,
Cool
nothing to do with
things.
Silent Hill. Finally.
nothing to do with Silent Hill.
Is Cool Borders coming back? Is that
What
this
an
is?
obscure game. No,
Is it
it's not
though?
Cool Borders.
Is that coming to the PlayStation?
Is Cool
Premium?
Spot coming back from Shiny Entertainment?
Mischief Makers coming back.
I
mean,
love
the
Cool Spot
no,
on the
Cool
Genesis.
Spot is not coming back.
Cool Spot was great. I think Tommy
Cool-
Tallarico did the music, didn't he?
Probably. Cool is not a hint.
Let's Evan.
You can
You cannot extract from that.
You can find me on Twitter at Kimmerix Project if I'm going live for streams or anything. It's usually where I'll post it. Hopefully we can stick back to my schedule of Monday, Wednesday, Friday this week. Just getting some shit done in the day.
And that's going to do it here for the Spawncast. Thanks everyone for joining us. Next Saturday night, sounds like there's going to be a lot to go, talk about.
Oh, I won't be on next Saturday night, by the way.
What?
Why?
I got a fucking family thing. I don't know why, but
I thought
You
that
don't
was
know
end
why
of.
you gotta
I
hang
thought
out
that
with
was
it
your
is.
end
It's a
of.
different one.
How many family things you got this month?
A lot, ever the fuck Dentley, because I keep getting texts about them from people.
What's the next one?
I'm trying to weasel my way out of it. I don't know.
You're going to
something-
miss the talk about Summer Games Fest.
someone's
You.
birthday.
You know what? I hope there's Summer Games Fest. I hope there's a Nintendo Direct. I hope all
Yeah.
this stuff happens. Just do it
See-
all this week.
Sean, do
I
it
hope
me-
so too, so I can make some money.
See, I have no family, buddy. I have so much free time. It's amazing. Just
I
get ready.
hope they air the Direct on Saturday.
I don't have to do it till like the afternoon. It's like a nighttime birthday party.
It's Saturday night Nintendo Direct. Here we go.
Okay.
At 9 p.m.
I'll, if I,
On,
We can do
Final-
a live Spawncast reaction to it.
Right. That'd actually be fun. That'd be cool.
If I can get home at a decent
It's
time,
okay,
I'll
Sean.
hop on.
It's all right. It's...
Will there be wine?
You were just gonna drink a bottle of wine anyway.
I don't use. I never drink wine. I like vodka when I drink.
Same.
Didn't you buy
Don't drink
six
a bottle
bottles
of
of champagne a couple of years ago?
Yeah,
That was bubbly, right? You got the
that's
bubbly.
bubbly. A little
Yeah,
bubbly,
that
bubbly.
was
John, we got a
bubbly.
final super chat.
Did I miss one?
Yeah, it just came in as we were doing outros.
Okay, I'll get that, and then we'll do the outro.
What are your thoughts on the boys' new season?
It's
That's the
very
super
good.
chat.
It's good. It's good. I'm right at the end of episode 3. I just got to finish like 20 minutes of that still, but I really like it. They have gone off the rails, and that's why I watch the boys. So I'm okay with it. And it's not going to be like any of the graphic novel stuff. They've completely distanced themselves from it, the comics and all that. So I'm happy with it. Yes.
What?
Are we done?
All
The
right.
we
boys,
off?
right? You guys gotta
I
watch
think
that.
we're off.
Good. We're all done. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks everyone for joining
Don't
us.
Lose that number.
We'll see you back
You
here
don't
Saturday
have
night.
to
I'm
come
Joey Strauss.
on
Silent Hill is fake.
You know that's
Whoa.
not true, you lying fuck.